you. We talk film, TV, both old and new. We discover new things, our taste get broader. So here's the show's host in no particular order. He's a little rough, he's a little caustic. Everybody knows him as the one and only toxic. From way up top, you'll find the northern star. You forgot to press like when a you scream yard. Stupenzolicious gonna judge you on your sense of cool by asking you what's your favorite Mexican food. He shouldn't tell secrets, but you know that he can. It's the Hollywood goss from the inside man. Run by Lindsey, sometimes drinks cappuccino. Everybody thinks he looks like Quentin Tarantino. So come on in and join the Nielsen ratings. It's a show that you've all been anticipating.
Hello, welcome to Superman special of the Nielsen ratings. I trust you approved of the tune. Today we are going to be conducting a poll. Which is your favorite Superman movie? Now, currently, I have Superman 1978, Superman 2 1979, or 1980, depending on where you got it. We're not going to put Superman 4 Quest for Peace as an option. I'm going to put the Superman with what was his name? Don Ruth or somebody that was in the 2000s. I can't even remember when it was. It was sometime in the 2000s. And then we're going to put Superman now. So 2025. Okay. Which is your favorite? All right. I know what my favorite is. I'm keen to find out. So we're talking all things Superman today. And then Rachel Percy and Critic Hour are going to be telling us why Hellride is the undiscovered work of genius of B-movie cinema of all time. Look forward to hearing their thoughts on that one. A little bit of homework assigned. Fortunately, I got to watch a bull riding movie. Critic Hour will explain why that happened later. Anyway, let me bring in my panel. First of all, it's the one and only Lord Toxic.
Hey,
how's it going?
It's going good, man. Good.
Did you manage to watch Hellride?
I did. I just finished it, actually.
Fantastic. Okay, I'm keen to hear your thoughts.
Oh, you will hear
it. Good. Keen to hear thoughts on. Going to do a bit of a Superman special. I will freely admit that Stupenzolicious, who did a kind of a sort of Superman live stream the other night, all things Superman, he kind of inspired me on that one. I thought, yeah, let's kind of talk about the other Superman movies as well as the latest Superman, which has divided a lot of people. We're going to get the opinion of the panel. We'd also like to hear what you scored Superman 2025 out of 10 in the chat. Offer us up your opinions now, if you would, please. We'll be going straight into Superman in just a sec. It's from Superman to Super Spider-Man. It's Critic Hour.
Evening. I am fine, thank you. Yourself? Apart from
it was a hair's breadth
movie, not the bike and boobs movie.
Well, indeed. Thanks for sending me a link to watch a bullfighting. No, not a bullfighting, a bull riding movie, that sort of American TV movie. I was so glad I got to watch that. I feel like my life would have been incomplete without seeing that strange film.
Well, you might have lucked out, to be honest. So we'll see.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see about that. Okay. So we're going to talk about Superman shortly. Last, but by no means least, it is Rachel Percy Art. Leroy, you've talked yourself out going on the panel again. If you told me you'd seen the latest Superman, could have come on. Okay, so yeah, Rachel, hello. How you doing?
I would have switched with you for the bull riding movie, honestly.
Well, we're gonna talk about that. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Lance, the one and only. Thank you very much for that, Gary Banjo Sandwich Worthington. Yeah, so he gives 5 out of 10 for the latest Superman film, a decent 50%. Yeah, I've got a poll up right now. Which is your favorite movie? Do you know what? I forgot to put Man of Steel on there, on the poll. You know why I forgot to put it? Because it was such a fucking forgettable film. That's why. Oh dear. I did forget. I forgot I'd seen that movie. I actually forgot I'd seen that. So we have a poll at the minute. What is your favorite Superman film? You got Superman 1978, Superman 2, came out in late 79 for some people, 1980 for others. Superman in the year 2000s, and then Superman 2025. So far, the original Superman 1978 is winning at 62%. That's interesting because it's not my favorite of those four, but we'll get into that. Okay, so let's talk more. So who has been to see the new Superdog film?
Supergirl.
Superdog. I mean, the new Superman film with Superdog in it.
MBD.
I've seen it. I've seen Superman.
I've seen it.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean. I mean Superman, but you know what I mean. Okay, so Superman, Man of Steel. Yeah. Okay. Right. Well, I've got. We're going to talk about Man of Steel as well. Don't worry. Yeah, but Superman. Okay, so Rachel, what do you think of Superman, with directed by James Gunn, co-written by James Gunn, Jerry Siegel, Joe Shuster? It stars David Corenswet, Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, and Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane. Is she a relative of the Bond guy? I don't think so. Alan Tudyk as Gary. And various other people. Various famous people playing Superman robots. Yeah, so Rachel, have you seen it?
I saw it and I did not enjoy it. Like, I think we just need to.
Got 2 minutes on a land timer of doom. Go for it. Why did you not enjoy it?
I detest when there's an action taking place on screen that is obvious what is going on, and they insist on telling you what is going on, because they know dang well that most of the audience is not paying attention. And that's this whole movie for me. I didn't like how they treated Crypto. Crypto is not a constantly bouncing around pain in the butt that doesn't do anything right. I didn't like how they treated Supergirl like she's a sorority chick on a bender, and she just couldn't be bothered to help out Superman, just couldn't be bothered with Crypto or Superman or anything that's going on Earth, even though her whole point as a character is to help Superman. And I don't like Gunn's humor, the way he uses humor in this film. It destroys anything that could have been emotional and heartfelt and added to the film. He can't help himself. He can't stop himself. And we really just need to stop for a good 5 years before we try this again.
Okay. Fair enough. We'll do ratings later. So
yeah, it's pretty low on the list. I do like Man of Steel, actually. I like Batman versus Superman a lot more. I like Justice League. So I like all of those. I don't know if they count as Superman movies or not, but this is terrible. Like I told you last week, but we were trying to avoid spoilers. It's just they don't know how to write this guy. The guy that they picked to play him doesn't know how to play him. He's like a little whiny brat. Our Lex Luthor is a little whiny brat that cries and screams through most of the film. I did like Mr. Terrific. I would have liked to have seen more Hawk Girl in like a Justice League type movie. I like Nathan Fillion. I did like Rachel Brosnahan. I do like her a lot. She's probably my favorite Lois Lane outside of the cartoon. I would say she's a phenomenal Lois Lane. So I'll give it that. The dog was ridiculous. There's no point in having that dog in the film. No point in having Supergirl in the film. I could not agree with Rachel Moore on that. It just seems silly. She's supposed to be Superman's protector on Earth, and she was off getting loaded. I don't get it. They subvert all of the supposedly heartfelt moments, which are cringy and cheesy anyway, with stupid asinine jokes that they completely rip off of other better movies like The Avengers. You know, I'm probably gonna have to do a whole video just asking people why they are riding this for the people who like it, like why they're riding this movie's dick so hard, because I don't get it. I'm not seeing whatever else anybody else is saying. Maybe I'll go watch it a second time, to my misery, but I'm not seeing what everybody else is saying, but maybe just to make a better, more succinct review. But it's a terrible, terrible film. One of the worst of 2025, easily.
Damn. Okay. No hunting back there. Critical.
Like I said, this is one of the most divisive films going. I enjoyed this movie. I recognize full well that it's not a particularly good movie. There's far too much going on. It's all over the place. But in general, Superman and Friends, I did walk out of that thinking, yeah, I enjoyed that. James Gunn's wheelhouse is zany characters, cute fuzzy animals and making you care about them and injecting some heart into a film. And I thought he did that fairly well. I just don't think he's the right man for Superman at all. His Justice Gang film probably would have been quite good because that's what he does. But yeah, he's just not right for Superman. As much as I thought David Cornsweet could have done well, he described himself in the film as punk rock. Who wants a punk rock Superman? That's not right. So yeah, while I enjoyed it and, straight away picked up things like Alan Tudyk as being the robot. And I agree with Tox that Rachel Brosnahan is like great Lois Lane. Lots of Margot Kidder there, I thought. And the film is objectively a mess narratively. And while there's certain things I did like about the film and I enjoyed about the film, it's not a great film by any means.
Okay.
I do quite like James Gunn films, so I give it a little bit more leeway, I think, in that basis.
I haven't seen it, so I can't give a rating because, as you know, I don't watch superhero films. So, Tox, what's your rating out of 10?
I'm so angry at all the good reviews from people who I respect as reviewers. I almost want to angrily give it a lower review, but just as far as what it actually is, I can give it a 4 out of 10.
Okay. Shit, that's pretty low.
I angrily want to give it lower because of all the people that are like just people whose reviews I really trust and count on to. I mean, I know somebody like Stupenzo's, he's for all things Superman, so I don't hold that against him. It would be like if, although I'm not going to be very kind to the Buffy reboot, but I mean, if somebody called me on my Whedonverse, obsession, but like other people like Oliver Harper and some of the other reviewers that I count on them to kind of guide me, and give me an idea of what I'm looking at. And everybody's just, over the moon with this film. And I just don't see it. And it's just pissing me off, really, because it's so bad. It's really, really bad.
Okay. Shit, wrong. Rachel, what's your rating out of 10?
I also have to give it a low rating, and I'll probably even give it a 3 because it just it messes up too much, and there's this mean-spiritedness towards the parents of Superman that I just can't. I can't.
Yeah.
What they do to Jor-El in particular, and yes, we have had versions of Jor-El that are evil. We have had versions of that, and I didn't like that either. But this is somehow even worse. And there was no reason for it. Why could he not just give us a solid Superman movie. He's not that hard to write. He's not that complicated. Why are we trying to complicate Superman? Just, I will never watch this again. So, yeah, a 3 out of 10.
Gary Banjo Sandwich Wellington says there are some cute women in this. I'm not sure that's enough.
That's true. That's true.
The
Pretty
Daily
gal,
Planet reporter has got
rating
everything
out
on
of 10.
display. My rating for this, I almost want to try and give it a 6, but I can't. As Rachel said, the origin change that they make is really cynical. Although I think there's bits to enjoy in this, Gunn wasn't the right man. I give this a 5 out of 10 because I enjoyed it, but I also identify it as a bad film.
Damn. So it's scored a potential out of 30. It's scored a mere 12. 7 plus 5, 12. Yeah. So that's not too good. Okay. I haven't seen it. I can't comment. I was drawn momentarily towards the cinema earlier today, and I thought, shall I go and see Superman? And then I went, no, I shall not. I resisted the kryptonite. I was able to steer away. So I did not look into the light, Carol Ann. Yeah. So okay. Now, having said all these things, what is it that makes a great Superman film? What is it? Is it nostalgia? Is it the music? Is it the casting? Now, fortunately, we have a possible differing opinion. Stupenzo's in the house!
Yeah, I can't stay long. I just got back from the airport. But yes, I see, the thing is, I like this movie, but it's important to note that I hate Man of Steel. I hate the Snyderverse movies, so that's important.
Okay, why did you like this movie?
Well, I give it a C, It's not
Can't
perfect.
give it a C. It's the Nielsen ratings, the rating out of 10.
A 6.5 or 7 out of 10,
Okay.
But the thing is, this movie didn't upset me. It didn't piss me off. It did win me over in the third act. It is convoluted, but yeah, Mr. Terrific kind of steals the show. I think the big kiss at the end is a good moment. There are some problems. Crypto never gets like a good boy moment. He never gets like his that'll do pig moment. Lex Luthor's plan is stupid. Like if he has a clone of Superman, why the hell doesn't he just frame Superman? There's just a bunch of stuff like that. But at the same time, like, I think this movie made me realize, like, even if you got to make your perfect Superman movie, everyone's got, I guess, their own idea of how a Superman movie could work. And I think that I'm realizing, like, these really popular IPs, it's just impossible to please everybody. Also, that being said, I think the other issue is, I think because of the success of The Dark Knight, everyone's expecting your stupid comic book superhero movies, video game movies, movies based on toys to be like The Godfather. It's not going to happen. These movies need to be... that's the thing I hate about the Man of Steel movies, is they're so pretentious. They're so overly serious. Like, like what if the devils didn't come from Earth below us, but from the sky or something? It's just like, dude, shut up. But yeah, that being said, I think the cast was great. There is a lot going on. I don't really like this movie as a branching off part for a franchise. And I think if this was just like a random standalone movie, that'd be wild. I think the next
I'd be
Superman
better with
movie,
it.
Yeah,
I'd be better with it if it was that. Yeah.
I would say the next Superman movie, just make it set in 1938, and just do another Superman movie after this. It's just like 1938 Superman. Why not?
I'd love. Do you know what? I'd love to see a Superman movie set in the late 30s, before World War II.
Same thing with a Batman movie. People keep clamoring for that Batman movie. As for ruining Jor-El, I think, like, I've been hearing a lot of cope about that. Like, first of all, it's been done in the comics, the New 52 comics, which suck, which obviously this is pulling off a lot of, based off of, like, Superman's outfit and the idea that Superman's younger. That's all very New 52, which I'm not a fan of the New 52 stuff. But like, I've been hearing a lot of people saying, like, oh, well, maybe it was Brainiac. Like, it'll be revealed that Brainiac is pulling Lex's strings, and that's how he, got Ultraman and got into the Fortress of Solitude, and how he figured out how he got this message from Jor-El translated. It's all Brainiac. And I'm like, that would be cool if it was hinted at all in the movie. Like if there was a big reveal at the end, you know.
If you have to write the movie yourself in your own brain, then what's the point of having writers?
Well, that being said,
Yeah,
like,
then it failed.
if it's revealed in a sequel, you know, oh, it was all Brainiac, whatever. But the point is, like, even if it isn't, I said this before, like, I mean, I know character assassination's not great, nobody likes it, but I'd much rather them ruin Jor-El's character than Pa Kent, like Man of Steel did, because Pa Kent is much more integral to Superman's life and backstory. Jor-El is just kind of like, you know, this phantom that gives him wisdom, whereas Pa Kent is the one who gives him his morals,
humanity,
and, life lessons. Yes, I do agree. Like, I think, you know, the Kents were a little too podung. They were also
we're not like that in Kansas, by the way. That's like
they're like 40% more hillbilly.
They're also
like,
a little
like
too
West
old.
Virginia.
And you know, it kind of reminds me like how Superman, you know, we give Superman shit in Man of Steel because he doesn't save his father from a tornado, which is so stupid. But also, wouldn't this Superman be just as implicit that he can't like use his X-ray vision and see that his father's arteries are all clogged? And he's just killing himself slowly, you know.
I mean, he could use his human eyes for that as far as that goes.
Yeah. This Superman, you know, I feel like he needs to be like, Dad, you know, like you need to chill, bro. And also, yeah, Pruitt Taylor Vince, you know, the shakiest eyes in all of Hollywood. I mean, he does a good job, but yeah, I don't like how Pa Kent is like a whimpering, over emotional mess of a man. That's a little bit much. I do like, you know, the Southern hospitality of the Kents and all that, but you know, like I said, it's a C. It's a 6 or 7 out of 10. But like I said, it's not infuriating. It's not angering. It's a dumb comic book movie, and I think we need to return to these dumb comic book movies. This idea that, like, you know, everyone's obsessing over these movies that are like basically based off of intellectual properties made for kids. And, you know, everyone's got to act like it's got to be Heat. It's got to be The Deer Hunter. It's got to be like Goodfellas or Godfather levels. And it's like, it's not, it shouldn't be. You know, superhero movies are supposed to be dumb popcorn flick. And it's like one of these things, like the Dark Knight was so good that it kind of ruins superhero movies, because now everyone's expecting these movies to be, you know, grounded and gritty and Oscar worthy. And it's like, no, they're dumb popcorn flicks. They should be like MTV Movie Award worthy, you know, not Oscar worthy. Eddington, like everyone's talking about, it's always, it's I Know What You Did Last Summer's coming out this week, but it's like, no, Eddington's coming out this week too, which has got Pedro Pascal in it, obviously, but it's Ari Aster COVID-19 movie. I don't know. It's supposed to be really crazy, and it's a movie for adults, you know. So I'm excited to see that movie. You know, I'm excited to see these. You know, like I'm always on this show talking about movies like The Surfer or, you know, whatever the hell. These are fun movies. They don't need to be all, you know, big spectacles. I think people act like, oh, they want better writing for these movies, but the truth is they just want these roller coaster rides that don't, you know, hurt their fifis, I guess. I don't know. This movie did not do that. It didn't hurt my feelings at all. It didn't shit all over me. And also, it's kind of base, because they're talking about how, like, oh, this movie's actually about immigrants. But then it's revealed that, like, you know, Superman's whole or his father's whole goal is like, yeah, don't assimilate, come here, take over, reproduce, you know, have a harem. That was, I felt like that was like something I felt that was a missed opportunity, because they start talking about the Superman harem, and I was like, you know what they should do? I assumed that what's the next big plot point is Lois Lane, you know, getting worried that maybe she's like a side piece, or he has some kind of nefarious reasoning to be with her, like he's just using her as a breeding vessel, and maybe he's got some other women. I thought it was going to be like the accusatory, you know, Clark has to prove that Lois is the only woman he cares about kind of thing, but none of that happens. It's just I feel like there was a lot obviously on the cutting room floor, and most of it was probably Daily Planet stuff. But yeah, I think I did like how there's a lot of hot people in this movie. There's some sex appeal, you know. There's some sexy people for some reason, you know.
Like this guy. This guy's very sexy.
I liked Metamorpho. I liked, you know, like everyone loves Mr. Terrific. The best part of the movie is when Lois is talking about how, like, I almost broke up with Clark, and then Mr. Terrific gives her that shut the hell up woman stare. Like, that's the best part of the movie, hands down.
How does the dog get to sit on the moon without any breathing apparatus? Is that a sort of same as
Superman can survive in the vastness of space, but apparently, according to this movie, like, they just hold their breath, which is not cool. It's always better than Superman. Superman can
There's
just
a lot
breathe.
of really dumb stuff in this movie.
So then if the dog barks, it like explodes or what?
Well, their big plan, their big plan to kill Superman is to basically suffocate him with nanites. Well, then you have your promotional still is Superman and Krypto sitting on the moon together looking at Earth. Yeah. You can't have it both ways. I'm sorry, you can't. And I have to disagree. I don't want Shakespearean comic book movies. All I'm asking is that you treat them with a little bit of intelligence so that I don't feel like I have to be a 5-year-old to enjoy myself. Give me just a little bit to hang on to. And there was nothing to hang on to here. I feel like,
you tried to mitigate damage. He saved that woman, and in a very Christopher Reeve way, he was like, "Ma'am, you'll be fine." You know.
Yeah,
there was some good stuff in there.
Yeah, but Al, those scenes are very few and far between.
They are. No, you're right. They are. As I say, there's some stuff to enjoy.
The issue is like we're hearing all the criticisms for Man of Steel. He's too powerful. He's causing too much damage. It's too overly serious. So this movie's doing the exact opposite. And now the complaints are like, he's getting his ass kicked all the time. He's, it's too lighthearted and silly. So, I mean, yeah, it's just making me realize, like, you're never going to, even if you get a really, like, there are people who don't like the Dark Knight movies, So, I mean, and those are supposed to be like the best ever. And, there's still people that are like, no, it's too serious, too straightforward. And that's the other thing I'm realizing is like, you have I'm hearing some of these people like these YouTube reviewers talk about what they would have wanted to see, and it's like basically all they want is like all the male characters treated with respect, and everybody he kicks everyone's asses and saves the day, and it's like, dude, this is not that's not a story. There's no conflict in these stories you're fantasizing about. So it's just it's a mixed bag, And
I
like
think the world building in this film was terrible. Superman's meant to have been around for 3 years.
Yeah, I think that's a big problem, and a lot of people have said that it feels like, like I said, a big fix.
Movie,
A big fix was the opening prologue should have been like a 10-15 minute credit sequence, where you're showing us the stuff that's written in the prologue instead of just writing it out. Yeah. You could have easily done like a quick little montage kind of showing all that, because some people were saying like we needed to see Superman kicking ass and saving the day a bunch in a little montage at least before we start seeing him getting his ass handed to him.
It's just there's
I needed to see.
They're like, linguists have determined this is genuine. What, you're an expert in Kryptonian now? And Kryptonian technology. I was so hoping that message turned out to be some kind of fake rigged by the engineer.
That's all they needed was like, it turns out that it was altered by somebody, and then hint at it's Brainiac, or something. That would have been fine. That would have been. I think a lot of people would have been, all about that.
As I said, I like the heart. I like the payoff. The scene at the end where it goes back to the scene from the very beginning, but it's his adopted parents and that kind of stuff. That all got me. I was like, yeah, I like that.
But if it is like if Bradley Cooper's Jor-El is actually evil, then maybe they're setting up that like because he comes back in the comics and he's Mr. Oz, and he's like evil Jor-El, and you find out that he's actually Superman's father, so maybe they're hinting at that. Maybe Bradley Cooper's going to have bigger roles as a bad guy in these movies. I don't know.
Well, you know what? I watched some of the earlier films after I went and saw this. I went ahead and put them on. The Christopher Reeve ones. And, in the first movie, Brando says to the mom, because she's like, well, but honey, he'll be a freak there. And he's like, no, he'll be a god to them. They will worship him there. So I kind of got those vibes even from Marlon Brando's Jor-El. So
then he says stuff like, they could be a great people. They just need someone to show them the way.
Yeah. But that wasn't that
the difference is,
yeah, go ahead.
The difference is that Brando is saying it in a benevolent way. And Bradley Cooper's version is saying it in a malicious way. That's
Sure.
the
No, I get it.
difference. Like
Yeah.
Brando's like, he's going to be their example of what they can be. And Bradley Cooper's example is, no, screw all the women and see how that goes.
Right.
No,
No, yeah,
I can't.
Somebody clearly watched Invincible or read the comics or something and got
Yeah.
some idea.
Boys.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's what we're seeing here.
I think
It's
I
a
think I
cynicism
agree.
that is taking over.
Okay,
I think
don't know
I
if you
agree
guys
with-
have seen, but there's a long cut of the original 1978 Superman. The really long cut is trending at the moment. A lot of people have gone back and watched it, and that film runs for an hour before the baby lands on Earth.
Yeah.
It's about 53
Mhm.
minutes. 53 minutes of running time when the baby steps out or
Yeah.
lifts up the car. I forget which bit, but I checked the time. It's like 53 minutes into the movie. So they do 53 minutes of setup. So they set up Zod for Superman 2. Originally, of course, he was going to be in Superman. It's all going to be one movie. Then they set up the kind of the council and the disagreements and all of that. They set up the family and so on and so on. And by the time the disaster strikes, it's about 40 minutes in. And then
Donal, it's about 2 hours 40 long, though, isn't it? It's quite a long film.
I think it's a good cut. I like it. I think it's good.
It is a
I
good
really
cut,
like. I really
it's
like
good.
it.
That's good.
And Rachel's right in the sense that all of the stuff with Brando is included. There's loads of stuff that was not in the original cinema release.
Yeah.
There's loads of extra stuff about, even in when it's traveling through space, that sequence with Brando's voiceover saying you will learn many lessons and all of that stuff. That's like twice as long as it was in the movie. And it very much is about you're going to bring these people to greatness as opposed to these people are going to bow to your greatness.
Right.
So I agree with you on that. I can't offer
question
much
is,
of an opinion on this because I haven't seen it.
It's okay. Was this better than Jurassic World Rebirth?
Yes.
That's like a big
Yes.
yes.
Oh yeah. I had to suffer through that twice because the little boy, my girlfriend's little boy, loves dinosaurs, so I had to go back and watch it again. And the second rewatch was
shit.
even worse. Yeah.
See, Jurassic
Yeah, 'cause you knew the
Jurassic
painful
World
shit
Rebirth
that
was
coming.
was a very I was shocked how simple that plot was. It was but that's the thing, this movie Superman's a little convoluted, but I wouldn't find myself like lost or confused at any time.
No, it's
just over stuff.
And it's
just over stuff.
Yeah, it's not mean spirited. I mean, so I spent too much time crying. Now let me say some nice stuff. It's not a mean spirited movie. It's definitely not political. I don't know where that came from prior to its release. Somebody was saying, or somebody was trying to get him to say it was political. It's not that.
Apparently, it's that reporter with the really husky.
Yeah,
he keeps asking
that,
if
that, yeah, like the
like that
video.
guy that was going around saying it's pro-immigration and all this shit.
Yeah. So
tell me how gay this movie is.
It's got a lot of.
He was just doing it to get clicks and fucking likes and subscribers.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
exactly.
sure.
What a total cockwomble. Please continue.
I'm concerned about like what Enzo said. Like I'm concerned. I don't have a problem with this movie in a vacuum, but with this being the world building of it, it's almost it's pretty much the same thing as the problem with Snyder using Man of Steel. I like Man of Steel in a vacuum, but with that, Man of Steel was supposed to be the reboot of the DCU at the time. That was the problem. So if you're gonna flagship something, you need to flagship it properly and build it. You can't just and that being said, I do like the fact that we didn't have to watch all of Kal-El's birth and then him going to Smallville. Like we all know all those stories. So if Hollywood has gotten the message that we don't need the fucking origin story every single comic book thing, then I'm good. I'm glad they finally got that. Like I don't need to see Bruce Wayne's parents shot. I don't need to see Spider-Man get bit every single time they reboot it. Like it's totally fine. Like we can move on from there. So I did like that. And there is a lot to like, but it's just like it's a real hodgepodge. They just were throwing too much into this film, and quite frankly, I'm not a huge Superman fan, but if I do watch a Superman movie, I want to see Superman as the main character. I did not feel watching this that Superman was the main character.
Yeah,
that was
terrific. Was the best thing about it.
Not at all.
I hated the music in this movie.
Right.
I hated
I was gonna
every
ask
time
about
they
the music.
every time they recycle the John Williams score. It's like it's all rudimental. There's like, there's some bad guy stuff when like Lex Luthor's doing bad guy stuff, and you hear this like cool like electronic, bad guy music. I'm like, this stuff is cool. Like more of this. Like stop trying to emulate John Williams, because that's what I realized with the first two Jurassic Park movies was like. The reason why they're so much better is because they have Spielberg, they've got John Williams, and they've also got the director-photographer, Jonas, or whatever his name was. This movie, the cinematography is not great. I hate how this, the cameras, it's very like Luc Besson. It's very Luc Besson where the camera's like very close, like up in the actors' faces. It's almost like fisheye lens constantly. Also, the color is just like it's almost too bright. It looks like a TV, kind of a
they definitely got a memo when they were getting ready to make this, and they were like, "Listen, we're going opposite of Snyderverse. We ain't gonna have no dark grainy Superman. I want everything popping bright."
Yeah, it works in theory, but like I said, we just need a few more wide angle shots and also some other. I also don't like the suit. I love there's parts about the suit I like. Obviously, the colors, the emblem's cool. But I hate the collar. I hate the bagginess. But like it's one of those things where it's almost there.
It's the new 52 suit, and I've always detested that design. I hate that design.
Yeah, I hate the lines.
You don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to overcomplicate his suit. His suit is not what makes him.
Dude, tomorrow, Supergirl with Helen Slater is the movie we got watching, and like we were talking about how like Supergirl's outfit is like spot on. It's perfect. Like you don't need to change anything. It's better than Superman's outfit.
I'm not exactly looking forward to the bratty Supergirl movie next year. Put it that way.
Well, the thing about Brady Supergirl is obviously like she's obviously going to have this big arc where she's going to realize like, OMG, it's time to stop, being a brat or whatever. But
is that what we need?
Now, I also don't like how they're clearly trying to like. Why didn't you just cast Sydney Sweeney if you're just going to try to have this actress emulate Sydney Sweeney in the Supergirl?
She's got to be Power Girl. She's got to be Power Girl.
Make a
Power
Justice
Girl
Gang
needs to
movie.
be bustier than Sydney Sweeney, honestly.
Make
Power
a
Girl
Justice
needs to be-
Gang movie.
Take what you can get.
Put Sweeney in Power Girl outfit. Watch the money.
$1 billion right there.
Yeah, right there.
Easy money, and they're too scared to do it. When they do have her in a superhero movie, they put her in a truth binder. That was so stupid.
Rachel, Scarlett Johansson has quite well pointed out that us misogynistic, chauvinistic, dirty male gazers are making women in comic book movies feel uncomfortable. So it's our duty to make them as sexless as possible.
Well, I love that.
Mission accomplished, baby girl.
Who's that ditzy reporter with the blonde hair and the big boobs? Like, yeah, more of her.
She's so hot. No, yeah, the ancillary characters can be hot and slutty, but Rachel Brosnan was fucking banging in this. I'm not gonna lie.
James Gunn has never had a problem with the female form.
She might be aged out already. Lois.
He's not in that woke line of defeminization, in my opinion, in his films. He's just not. He's not that kind of a director. Whether or not he's the right man for Superman, I don't think he is. But he's not one to cover up all the women all the time and have them being completely sexist.
Well,
and stuff
maybe
like that,
maybe he blew his wad with this, and he's gonna put a more competent director on the next one to take over. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe he's got an ego thing out of his system. I don't know. I don't want to see a James Gunn Batman. I do not want to see a James Gunn Batman.
Oh God, no. Jesus, please no. Please.
That would be Batman and Robin all over again. It would be. And we all know it.
Bat credit card.
Bat nipples.
None of that is sounding good to me.
Bat Tootsie.
I mean, when it hits streaming, you've got to pay attention to in any way. There's a bunch of set pieces. It's a very James Gunn film where he does what he does in things like Guardians of the Galaxy, where he makes you care about sort of cute fuzzy animals and he puts the heart and all that kind of stuff in it. So, but the connective tissue just isn't there. Like the entire sequence in the Pocket Universe was completely pointless. There was no need for any of it. It's just it's just a chunk of the movie that just didn't need to be there.
Yeah, the writing in this was definitely done by committee. It's very clear that it was like, you know what else? You know what else we could do? You know what else we could do?
Yeah. You know what would have made it work? What would have made Crypto work? Like, fine, you start with Superman. He's bloody and beaten. He's laying in the snow. And Crypto comes up to him and nuzzles him like a dog would do if their owner is injured, and licks his face.
It's not, we find out it's not his owner, he's Supergirl's dog. So I kind of get it, but it would have been better.
Yeah, but it ruins it.
Yeah.
It ruins it because he can't stop himself with this humor that doesn't land. Like, no one is going to be like, oh, haha.
Yeah, there's a
Superman
lot of does the dog come up and urinate on him or what?
He jumps all over him like a friggin' nutcase.
He pulls a Hulk from Avengers basically during a important scene. Basically, it's like the Hulk scene in Loki and Adventures of the first Avengers.
Crypto wrecks the Fortress of Solitude. He's like a naughty dog, basically. Yeah.
Does he urinate on the Fortress of Solitude and turn all the snow yellow?
It's not all yellow, no.
Yes, the Fortress of Solitude is all yellow, Lance. It's all yellow.
Okay. All right. The dog is weed big time in the Fortress of Solitude.
I like dogs. I like Crypto in theory, but
if you have kids, kids will like this. Like this is going to do well because it's summertime and they can bring their kids and it's bright and flashy and it's got a bunch of superheroes doing superhero stuff. So if you got kids that are like 11 and under, they're going to dig the shit out of this. Boy or girl like that, and then they'll buy the toys.
Movie, Superman rejects the Kryptonian instructions from the evil Jor-El. Says, no, I screw up. That's what makes me human. So you get that side of it. I get what it's going for. It's just so clunky. It's so clunkily done. That's the problem.
Yeah, he's not a good Superman. He's not a good. Listen, I'm not the biggest Superman fan, but I'll tell you what. Something Lance asked us early on when the show started. What makes a good, even in a bad Superman movie like Superman Returns from 2006, Brandon Routh when he saves the shuttle plane thing with that Lois was on, the experimental thing, and he catches it and brings it down into the stadium and just gives him
that's a good scene. I like that scene.
That's a great scene. And I remember getting chills in the theater like watching it because he channeled Christopher Reeve so well, and it was just so apple pie, like, hey, just so you know, I know this was a bad experience for you guys, but flying is safer than driving, and I hope this hasn't ruined flying for you. I mean, that was such a Superman thing. That now the rest of the movie is shit.
It's so boring.
It's so boring.
Brandon Routh is not the problem, though.
No, I think
his blue contact lenses were the problem.
Yes, I hate those blue contacts. Stop doing that, people.
Also,
blue contact lenses do not work.
And beeped and got beeped and did the beep just so he could get the role, just so he could not even, get anything done with his Hollywood career.
Help his career, and he did.
Bryan Singer had a little time to beep him with the beep and all that stuff, So
we need to get a button, Renzo.
You saying Kevin Spacey was involved in a beep and Brandon beep and then Kevin beep? Is that what happened?
See, I don't have a button because on my show I just say what I want to say, but not on Lance's show. I won't say that.
No, well, you can say it. Go for it.
No, I'm just sure that Brandon Routh had a bit of a casting couch experience to get his Superman experience, and then it just sucks because the only thing he got to do after that was play Superman again, and in a made for WB spinoff, and then also he did the Vegan in Scott Pilgrim.
Scott Pilgrim, yeah, he's good in that.
Oh, he's great in that.
Well, he had one movie that I can think of.
He was a pretty decent actor. I'm hoping he got a house out of it at least. Hopefully, from his paycheck.
He probably got paid more than Henry Cavill did for Man of Steel.
I don't know.
Yeah.
$300,000.
Jesus.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that
that's how little faith they had in that.
Well, that's the beauty of Superman, because Superman's always played by best played by an unknown. So unknowns require less money, you know.
Yeah.
Plus, it's
Yeah.
also I also said the thing about Superman, like Superman movies versus Batman movies. It's kind of like werewolf versus vampire movies. Like vampire movies are way more popular. Batman movies are way more popular, and they cost way less. Because when you say, "Oh, it's a Superman movie," you're like, "Okay, well, obviously, we have to have a lot of special effects and big, huge budget because it's Superman." Batman doesn't necessarily need the most gigantic budget if he's just like climbing on buildings, doing all that stuff. But Superman, yeah, he flies and breaks things and all that stuff. Werewolves too. It's like werewolves. It's like, okay, well, this is going to cost more money, but less people like werewolves. So why even bother? That's the problem. It's like it's a double-edged sword. Yeah, vampires are way more popular than werewolves, and vampires are
I
cheaper.
disagree.
Oh my word, it's Twilight all over again. God.
Team
Well,
Jacob.
Both of
Just
them.
think of like how many vampire movies there are
Right.
versus how many werewolf movies there are.
How many
Yeah,
good
but how
vampire
many-
movies?
Yeah,
The
good
hell
werewolf,
of
good
vampire
vampire movies,
movies
yeah.
are there? Oh,
So Brian
Anyway.
Singer directed Superman Returns. Enzo, are you saying that there may be a connection between Brian Singer directing Superman Returns and Brandon Routh being cast?
I'm sure Kevin Spacey also had some
Yes.
input.
Ooh,
Oh yeah, him and Kevin Spacey. Yeah, Brian.
hey. Well, we can't deny that he does look like Christopher Reeve, and that's what they wanted. They were just going to make a sequel to that, and sure, I'm sure Brian Singer had some fun on the side, but he looks perfect. It's just, again, the writing's not there, the story's not there.
I mean, to be fair, he did his very next role was to play a gay actor in a bit part in Zack and Mary Make a Porno.
Oh, I remember.
So,
I know, and
Yeah.
poor guy.
The problem with Superman Returns is it's really, 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 really boring.
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
not a
So
great
long.
movie, is it? The whole Lex Luthor storyline doesn't really work.
no.
Yeah,
No.
I wasn't a massive fan. By the way, people, check out the poll in the chat again, because I cancelled the last one, although Superman the original movie did win that one, and I've changed the
Obviously.
options. You can now vote for Superman 1978. You can vote for Superman in the year 2000s. Oh no, sorry, wait, that's the last poll. You can vote for Superman, Superman 2, Man of Steel, or Superman and Super Pooch, which is the latest one, 2025. So far, that's got 0 votes. Man of Steel, 12%. Superman 2, The Awesome Cut, 1980, 12%. Superman, 1978, 75%. I'm quite surprised.
I don't think
very
it's a surprise.
I really do. I think
I thought more people would vote for Superman 2 because it's the one with all the fucking cool action.
My vote's for Superman 4.
No.
'Cause it's the shortest Superman movie.
Of course.
Nuclear Man for the win.
I gotta say, Superman 4 is stupid, but it flies by. You're like, holy shit, this movie's almost over. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's not a great film.
I know.
It's not a great
I noticed
film.
you didn't even put Superman 3 on there.
I did not put Superman 3 nor Superman 4. There's some things about Superman 3 I quite like. I quite like Richard Pryor's character. I quite like Robert Vaughn as the villain.
Yeah, that's
I'd
something
like
I talked about. Was like Lex Luthor was originally like in the first 2 Superman movies. Gene Hackman, Lex Luthor used to be portrayed as this like evil genius who like lives in a sewer somewhere or something. Whereas like Robert Vaughn's character in Superman 3 was the inspiration to make Lex Luthor kind of more of like this philanthropist, billionaire.
Like
But he's like
Magnet type
secretly
thing.
evil,
Yeah.
He's like secretly evil, but he owns like a corporation. He's like on the surface, he seems like he's a legit guy.
I
That's
have got to say, I was very disappointed by Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor.
Yeah, he
I
doesn't
really
have the
rate
voice.
Nicholas Holt.
Stop making young Lex Luthor. We don't need. It's been done in Smallville, and that was fine. But this thing to reboot, and make him a young Lex Luthor. That's not. I don't want that. I want.
He came across as really petulant.
He just has like
I-
penis envy or something, and he's very
That's it.
I don't like Nicholas Holt's voice. You need Lex Luthor to have like a deep,
Yeah.
There wasn't any
Clancy
gravitas
Brown.
there, was there?
Clancy Brown from the
fancy Brown.
Exactly. Hey, I would be down for that.
Luthor.
He's
Go
the best.
ahead.
He's the best Lex Luthor.
Cast it.
Down to Brown.
All right. Well, we're gonna move on, and by that I don't mean move on that far. We're gonna talk about Superman 2 for a bit. So, this is my favorite Superman movie of all time. I mean, any film that has Superman throwing a villain, not a villa, that could have happened. That would have been in another Superman film. That's Superman Conquers Ibiza. Hasn't happened yet. Any film that shows Superman throwing a villain into a Coca-Cola sign is gonna get my vote.
Yeah, this is the
I
one
love
where
this
Superman's like evil, right?
No, that's Superman
No.
3.
No.
So
This is the one where he gives up his powers to be with Lois.
this is the
Yeah.
one that was shot at the same time as Richard Donner's
Yeah.
movie. It was mostly
Yeah.
directed by Richard Donner because they shot
Right.
them back to back. And this is when the three
Yeah.
super
Zod
villains
and
who've been,
yeah.
cast
I
into
do like this
the
film. I just think the ending is incredibly
is-
dumb.
When he beats up an over the hill trucker when he has superpowers after he gets his ass kicked, and he murders the villains when they don't have powers. So yeah, this is the
Yeah.
evil Superman one.
Yeah, but
Oh,
he
God.
has to murder them because they've got to go. And actually, he doesn't murder all three of them. Lois Lane kills one of them.
Yeah, she
You
kills
know what?
one.
You're
yeah.
a real pain in the neck. Boom. That got a massive applause in the cinema, by the way. Just going to say.
Yeah, no,
So-
growing up, this was my favorite Superman and watched it a million times. But as I got older, I was like, so he's got superpowers and he just beat the shit out of this old over the hill trucker guy who basically beat him in a fair fight. Because, Christopher Reeve was what, 6'4", 6'5"? He was a big dude. I mean, he just because he didn't know how to fight. So this movie basically, as I turned into a teenager, made me a Batman fan because I was like, okay, so Superman's pretty much just a piece of shit.
Look, that guy
Wow.
was a mean bully. So I don't know. What
Oh, okay. I guess that makes it okay then. Okay.
Yeah,
I got it.
absolutely. It makes it
Yeah,
okay.
it does.
So,
Okay.
Oh, and look at this. Dan Candy says they did not die. There's a deleted scene showing them being arrested after the fight.
No, there's not. No, there
That
is
would-
not.
No way.
That would
I've
kinda
not seen
suck.
that.
That's not true. I don't believe you,
Is that
Dan.
true?
There's a guy
was
trying
anyone
to arrest him
verify
midway
that?
through the film. Doesn't work well for him.
Arrested
Okay.
by who? The sheriff's department outside the fortress
Yeah,
of
right.
Solitude?
Well, I mean, if they don't have any powers, they could have been arrested by the Eskimo Sheriff's Department.
Mounties arrested him.
They're using huskies as police dogs. Yeah.
Oh,
Mush, mush.
see, we
Yeah.
can have a balance of the ridiculous and the serious in a movie, and it work.
Well, you know what I did like about the new Superman movie is the discourse around it is not like soul crushing. I'm not like, oh, I'm enjoying talking about the new Superman movie, about people who hated it and didn't like it and liked it. And, it's not like, I'm not like, oh God, we got to talk about the Acolyte or, Ironheart or whatever. It's like, the Superman movie. And we're not, it's just genuine nerd discussion. There's no really woke versus unwoke kind of conversations happening. It's not political.
They
So
tried with the
I am
immigration
appreciating that
angle.
aspect of this, Superman movie. The fact that everyone's just talking about just Superman for
You-
several days in a row. It's fun.
Yeah,
You and I are having very different experiences with the conversation then, because
Yeah.
I've got,
What's going on?
you didn't understand it, you're too stupid for this isn't for you.
Well,
Good
that's,
lord.
That's the
other thing I talked
conversation
about.
I'm getting to have.
I'm sorry, Superman 2025 might be many things, but it is not high art.
No,
It's-
yeah, but
it's-
I showed.
No,
I
and
showed.
people are treating it that
Nothing
way.
deep about it at
One
all.
at a
It's very
time,
junky.
please. Enzo,
I
go ahead.
Well, I was saying I
You're
showed a
trying,
video
you're
on
trying.
Sunday. Some African American gentleman, eviscerating the movie, and he's just, there's so many plot holes and this movie is garbage and blah blah blah. But the point is, like, he was so angry, and it's like, dude, chill. Like, everything you're saying might be right, but like, there's no reason to get this worked up over the movies, these dumb superhero movies. That's like kind of the other thing I'm realizing about the Superman movie. It's like, you loved it, you hated it, who cares, It's like, there's no reason to take it personal and get offended and try to get up in people's faces. And, there's no reason to, like, you don't need to be heels versus babyface, like yelling about pronouns, oh, Superman, they ruined Jor-El. Like, it doesn't, calm down. All right. Like, just relax.
I mean, people do
Well,
get
female
about film.
Silver Usurper says the movie is uber political. I feel you need to come on the channel and justify that opinion.
So? Yeah,
let us know if you want to come on. Yeah, and I will send you the link. I'll send you the link. Female Silver Usurper. I can't say that.
Hey,
fast.
It's 5 o'clock. I actually got to go. I'm glad I got to stop in for a bit.
Okay, no, Enzo,
next week
thanks.
For sure.
Enzo, thanks for popping in. Can you, Enzo, can you do that little thumbnail I messaged you about? Because I've got that interview coming up tomorrow. That'd be very helpful.
Yeah,
and we'll have a chit chat about the Back to Raving at 50 cover as well, just to finesse the design.
Yeah, guys, the best Superman movie ever is on my channel tomorrow. It's the Helen Slater Supergirl movie from 1988. It's insane. So check that out.
Trust this man.
Yeah, it's a funny one. It's a funny episode. So some good jokes in that one. So
Helen Slater
see y'all
was
later.
really hot back then.
She is. Yeah, she looks great. All right,
the best Superman film ever is the Fangirl, Supergirl, one in the pool,
swimming pool,
19.
The swimming pool Supergirls.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to hearing if it's better than the swimming pool Supergirl movies. Enzo has left the building. Okay, so just going back to Superman 2.
Thing that Dan, sorry.
Let's go back to Superman 2 for a moment. The other reasons I like this is, for me, these are the best villains in a Superman movie. Gene Hackman takes kind of the backstage. He's in the film as Lex Luthor. He's got great lines. Like, I've always been an admirer of beachfront property. What were you thinking of? Well, Australia mainly. It's so great. Lex Luthor, ruler of Australia.
Luthor, ruler of Australia.
Yeah, there you go. And I mean, also Zod is like, he goes back and forth. He's going to kill Luthor one minute, but then he says very well, kind of lets him off the hook later. So I like all of that stuff, and I think also the progression with the Lois Lane Clark Kent relationship's kind of nice. And I also like the fact that it didn't have that whole stupid plot where he turns time backwards and meddles with the time, whatever you want to call it.
It's much better. It's much better in this movie. He's super roofies with his mouth. Much better. Much better.
Yeah.
God. Yeah.
Exactly. Plus, he beats up that toxic lookalike in that bar. Obviously, a good thing. So,
that was my uncle. Yeah. That's why I'm so salty about it.
Yeah, that's what I heard. So anyway, I like this film. Got great memories of going to see it. It was shot entirely in the UK, so all the American scenes that you see have all been shot in the UK.
Oh wow, I know that. Terrence Stamp's so good in this film.
He is good in it. That town that they destroyed, when they kind of turn up in that town, that's all built. That's all built in the UK. And I only found that out recently myself. But so when you go back and look at it, you can see it's a set, and you look in the background, you can see some like UK pylons, in the background, a couple of shots. So, but I love this. Yeah, Kneel Before Zod, such a great moment in the film. And I try and think of moments like that in a Superman film, sort of post 2006. I can't remember any. That's a big problem for me. 5 things that make a great Superman film are: number 1, you got to have the right guy in Superman. Number 2, you got to have the right villain. Number 3, the music is absolutely fucking essential to get right, because the John Williams score is so good. The only one that got the score even close to that was Man of Steel for me, because Hans Zimmer did do his own thing, and it was kind of the right emphasis of drama. But I didn't like Man of Steel as a movie. I thought it was boring. And I thought that whole thing of flying around in all the buildings and shit at the end was like, well done, man. You just killed thousands of people.
Yeah.
So
that's one thing I do like about the new one as well. He does try to stop buildings from being destroyed a bit.
Well, I love that. The thing I like about the end of Superman 2 is, you know, that whole thing of the people, and they realize that's his weakness, and that's a great moment in the movie.
Like pets. He thinks of them like that.
Well, you can say that.
That's his harem that you're trying to destroy.
That's just a toxic view. Literally.
That was Richard Donner's view, because that was the line in the movie, sir.
No, I know that. That's your interpretation of how it's presented. Anyway, so I'm sorry, I'm going to die on this hill, and my hill's got more trenches in it than yours, and barbed wire, and a big pike. So anyway,
as I was saying, we should give credit to Dan Candy, because he was right. There is a deleted scene where the 3 Kryptonians are arrested by police.
Do you have it?
Do you have it? It was the snow police, yeah. It was the.
Can you put the link? Can you put the link for it in private chat? I'm going to show it if you got it. You got it?
I've just typed it in private chat. I don't know how to present.
Let me ask this, since you guys are such experts. Is there a scene? I remember a scene, and I've not seen it in rewatches. I feel like I remember there was a scene where, in the town that they take over, they send a kid. I want to say it was Jody. Jody, ride and go get help and tell people in the next town what's happening here. And the evil chick, whatever her name is, she grabs the little, we call it a cherry, off the top of the cop car, and then throws it like a missile and kills the kid. And they're like, "You just killed a boy," and she's like, "And now he'll never become a man." Is that happened, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that I think that was cut from some versions, I believe.
I'm sorry.
Let's check out this deleted scene.
I couldn't believe it. What
do you say? Be the wiser. We'll say that you were killed in the
You've missed it already. They're right in the opening
You'll
frame.
lie low for a few months and hang out of my joint.
There they are.
And I'll be
I can see them. They're being arrested. They're being taken away. In the background.
Metropolis.
Fortunately, there's this special forces unit that clearly patrol the outer Arctic rim in full James Bond bad guy regalia. How helpful. They are being taken away in the background there. You can see them.
Right, Superman.
We could be partners. 60-40.
I bet this guy was really gutted that his role was cut. This guy with a gun.
8%.
8%.
Let's negotiate. 5%. Come on. No?
What percent?
Okay.
It literally says Arctic Patrol.
I mean, that's nuts, because if he picked the guy up and threw him and then he fell down a chasm, and it is implied it's a chasm, he would have killed him for sure. Even in the laws of Superman as presented in this movie. So yeah, I can see why they cut that scene, because it is bollocks. So all right, Superman 2 is my favorite. Let's go around the panel. Rachel, what is your favorite Superman film and why? Is it Quest for Peace?
No. No. My favorite is the first one. That has always been my version of Superman. And I love how he's handled. I love the respect and the gravitas that is paid to him. I love that. We do get to see him, a little bit of him growing up in Smallville. We get to see that soft Americana feel of his childhood and the heart-crushing death of his father. No. Try again. Try again, Lance. But we get to see that, but it doesn't dominate the movie. And so many of the newer films, that dominates the movie. It's just we keep focusing on, oh, he's young Superman. He's young Superman. He doesn't have it figured out. We get it. We get it. We've already seen Superman struggle with the death of his father and then become a better person for it, become a better hero for it. You cannot top that. It's just the best version of Superman for me. And it has its ridiculous elements and it has its serious elements. I don't want another Man of Steel. I don't want that. As much as I love Henry Cavill, I don't want that.
Yeah, he is.
I don't
He is good.
want-
I think he got saddled with some pretty poor scripts.
Mhm.
He did.
I mean, Batman
That's
versus
his
Superman,
career.
What the fuck is that? You know.
Henry Cavill
Yeah,
may go
Batman
down
versus
as one of the
Superman is
unluckiest
terrible.
actors in history.
He is.
That
Look
is-
at him. He looks like Superman.
He's
And
a
they
nice
can't
bloke,
give him a
too.
good script. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a wonderful person. Everybody says he's a wonderful person. And
Yeah, should have been James
apparently-
Bond. Should have been Superman.
yeah,
It's harsh.
he should have played everything, okay?
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't want dark, gritty Superman. I don't want Injustice Superman. I want 1978 Superman. That's all I'm asking for. Just a good man doing what he should. That's all I want.
Okay, so
I'm done ranting.
you can go on the poll and vote for Superman. Toxic, what is your favorite Superman film and why?
Can I count Batman versus Superman or no?
You can. I mean, dude, you better have a good argument for.
Good
I
lord.
do.
Your mum was
I
killed as well. Sorry. Yeah.
So I didn't see it in the theater. So I didn't see it until it came on streaming where they had the director's cut. So I just went ahead and bought the director's cut. All the problems that people have with that, besides the cringy, why did you say that name scene? Besides that, all the little plot hole problems that they had throughout that movie are fixed in the director's cut, So
I haven't seen the director's cut.
Yeah, maybe give it a watch if you have time. No big deal. But so yeah, I like that. I liked I think they rushed it. I think they would have been better off to have a Batman movie first. But I like how Superman comes off in that movie. I think they rushed doing the death of Superman thing, but for what they were trying to accomplish, I get what they were doing with it. And I find even though I'm more of a Batman fan than a Superman fan, I found the stuff that Clark is going through in Batman versus Superman, trying to, the way that he was raised and the way that he sees Batman and the way that Batman sees him. I really like a good, two powerful beings, and it's like a big misunderstanding. I like that story, and they didn't rush into it too. They had like lots of little things happening leading up to it. So yeah, I dug that a lot. I thought Henry Cavill to me is the perfect Superman. I mean, I don't, and interestingly enough, I was just thinking about it. I don't think there's been a bad Superman. You know how we say like, oh, I don't like this guy as James Bond or something like that, or I didn't like this particular Spider-Man. I think all the people from the TV show to the movies have all been well cast as Superman. I'll even give Cornsweth a bit of grace.
I agree. I think for the most part they've got pretty good actors in. The actors have generally not been the problem.
I liked seeing in Batman versus Superman, I liked seeing the two people's morals go up against the other person. Batman believes what he's doing is right because somebody like Superman is way too dangerous to live. I agree with that. And then Superman had basically brought that whole war to his front door. Now it was a little short-sighted, obviously, but at the same time, I like that. Sometimes your best, the people that match up, the best way to do that is to have them combat each other at first. And I thought they did that very, very well. And I liked, I could have gone without the whole death of Superman ending, but I think that was the best portrayal of him. He does pretty good also in the Snyderverse cut of Justice League. I did like that as well, but there's not very much of him, and certainly not enough for me to say it's a Superman film. So, but his name is in the title, and Batman versus Superman, I feel like that's good enough. So yeah, he's really put upon in that movie, even though he's got this godlike powers. He's the terrible Lex Luthor, Jesse Eisenberg from Facebook is running circles around him because Superman can't think strategically. That's not his forte. It's basically like, there's an emergency, let me zoom over and go save or stop this emergency. And he's so fixated on Lois, he makes stupid decisions. And I like to see that. I like to see somebody that powerful held back by the ideals that he's trying to instill in everybody else, and then live up to himself. And then it's juxtaposed against my favorite version of Batman, which is Batfleck. I thought he was perfect in that role, and I like that.
You should have got a solo movie.
So if you get a chance, we're robbed of a solo movie of him for sure, and he has no intention of ever. I like the aged Batman. I like that whole thing. So I'm glad they didn't go too far like the comic book, because there is the comic book Batman versus Superman that they turned into like a cartoon movie with Peter Weller playing the voice of Batman and stuff, where Superman's tasked to take him down by the Reagan era government and stuff. I'm glad they didn't go that route.
That was the Dark Knight Strikes Back, wasn't it? Dark Knight Returns.
What they should have done, because they imply it in Batman versus Superman, is have the death of Jason Todd. That should have been the movie before. And we wouldn't have had, it's implied. That happened, and it scarred him for life. But we're not going to show it. We're not going to investigate that at all. It's just look at his suit. How sad.
They were rushing to get to the Avengers. That was the problem. They wanted.
Yeah, they were. They could have even made it more with Jason Todd. Batman was dealing with the fallout of the Superman battle from Man of Steel and didn't get a chance to go save Jason Todd from Joker, and that's how Jason Todd was killed. And that's what pissed him off more. They could have done that. So
that's what they should have done. But you're right. They were trying to get their Avengers, and they ruined their universe in the process. They missed the lessons of the MCU, where you have to build these characters first. Like, imagine we don't get Iron Man, Thor, Captain America. We just get Avengers, and then we get Iron Man, Thor, Captain America. It doesn't work.
One of the biggest problems with the current MCU is nobody gives a shit about any of the characters.
So
none of the characters since Endgame have.
Which is your favorite Superman movie?
Sorry, my one?
No, Rachel's.
Oh,
I already answered. Did you miss it?
I think Rachel did the first one.
Oh, your answer is so long-winded, I've forgotten. Can you just remind me so I can move on?
It was the first one. There.
Oh, yeah,
nice and succinct.
Thank you. So, Critical, which is your favorite Superman movie?
I've already voted the first one. You can't beat it.
We went down so many fucking rabbit holes. I was thinking, where the fuck were we? Okay. All right. Excellent.
I think it was toxic. You start talking about Batman versus Superman, and it kind of just
that was it. Don't go down that.
What we would have done,
and I think the Donal cut's even better, to be honest.
Let's move on from Superman to this absolute work of genius.
Oh God!
Oh,
no! Okay, can we keep talking about Superman?
Well, Rachel, ladies first. So let's put you up there. There we go. All right. Tell us what you loved about Hellride.
What I loved about it? It got made.
Tarantino film.
It was a
film. He owed somebody a favor.
It's Quentin Tarantino presentation of a film that's got nothing to do with Quentin Tarantino.
If Quentin Tarantino was a producer in the 70s, this would have been what he would make. Without any doubt. This is the kind of thing he would make.
It was a throwback to a 70s biker movie, wasn't it? Wasn't that the idea?
Yeah, it is. It is a throwback to what he enjoys.
Okay, and was it any good? I think we should let's just put this picture up for a while you talk about it. Go for it.
There, it's pretty. It has some pretty moments, but as a story, yeah, As a story, it's just terrible. You can laugh at it. You can have a good time with it. So there's that. But just
Okay,
the plot is so crazy.
Is this the
Like-
cast
like a-
voting on what they think of the film? Do we think? Or
Yes, they owed somebody something. Or maybe Quentin just called in all of his favors and was like, come on, please. Can we just make this movie? I really want to make this movie. And they're all like, yeah, sure. Just give us some beer money and we'll show up for one day and make a movie. That's what it feels like.
I think I had fun making
well,
it.
it was Larry. It was Larry Bishop who was behind it. And you know, we kind of watched the trailer for it last week. Somebody sent me a great link to watch a similar movie about bull riding, which was not the right film. So obviously, I can offer my opinion on that movie. I was thinking, like, what the fuck is Michael Madsen? Why is this starting in Australia? It's got cowboys in it. That seems correct, but I'm now like 45 minutes in. This is like the wrong fucking movie. Yeah. So anyway, okay. So I mean, can you briefly surmise the plot for us?
Oh goodness. Well, of course, you've got your evil biker gang, the 666ers. You've got a drug plot. You've it. Honestly, it's crazy. It's ridiculous, but it's as stereotypical as you can get for a biker gang conflict movie. And if that's your thing, more power to you. I've just seen better movies be as ridiculous.
Okay. Hold off on your rating for the moment. Toxic. How did you enjoy the Hell Ride?
I kind of enjoyed it. It was like one of those Sunday trash movies that me and my dad used to watch, with just like a shit ton of great actors. I'm wondering, was this one of those movies where they didn't have a script and they just said, just here, go do stuff? Because that's almost what it seems like.
When
I got
Martin's in
to
the
see,
tree blowing on the bottle, that is
Yeah.
100% an ad lib.
I
Look, I'm an
got
owl.
I got the
Oh,
feeling
God.
they were just like, listen, there's a bunch of hot chicks. Cause I mean, I did notice Harvey and Bob Weinstein were involved.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay,
And
that explains some shit.
Yeah, I saw
it does, doesn't it?
I saw that, and then and it's like so the main guy, Larry Bishop, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was in Kill Bill Part 2, playing the titty bar owner that fires Michael Madsen's character Bud. And it's just, so he is the director of this, and basically just made himself like even though he looks like he's a tax attorney for the mob or something like that, he just makes himself out to be, the biggest Brad Pitt stud. He's nailing all these every time a chick is just in his orbit, they're just dripping, waiting to see him, including like the horrible actress from Blade 2 plays the chick that just wants to nail him so bad. It's his information is ride or die queen. But I mean,
that's Leonor Varela.
Yeah, I was letting you pronounce it because I knew there was no way I could. But yeah, she's pretty to look at. All the chicks are smoking hot. Michael Madsen's quick on the draw with his gun. You don't know if he's betraying the club or if he's on the club's side. They got Michael Beach pops in it, which is crazy. Just so many different actors and actresses that I was like, hey, I know them from this thing that I know them from. And I like they got Balfour from I think it's Justin or Jeffrey Balfour from The Young Kid playing Eric Balfour. Thank you.
Eric Balfour, yeah, he's a good actor. I like him.
Yeah.
He was in was in the Buffy pilot, and then popped up in a couple other WB shows for a while. I never got to see him do much. He was trying so hard with this, and there's a couple, believe it or not, there's a couple decent performances. His isn't bad, and David Carradine does a lot with a little, and just his little bit of a part. He really does a good thing. Like, he actually looks like he's believing the dialogue that he's saying. It was I listen, it's not something I was like, oh, this is gonna be in my top 10 or something, but it wasn't a slog to get through it. I had myself chuckling a couple times at the ridiculousness of it, like, the crossbows and the bow and arrow gun, and the way people are switching sides, and they're looking for the MacGuffin of the key that's got the stash, and it's all goes back to 1976 when somebody was going to be getting killed, and somebody else was not supposed to get killed, and blah blah blah, and like all this just convoluted. It's like somebody just put Sons of Anarchy, which also came out the same year, Sons of Anarchy and Quentin Tarantino chat GPT, and just was like, here, make me a movie. And this is what came out. They just got all these, like, I mean, they're not A-list actors, but I mean, they're pretty good. You got Dennis Hopper, Michael Madsen, Michael Beach, David Carradine. I mean, a lot of these. I mean, I don't know this Bishop guy. I've only seen him. I mean,
that's a good cast. It's a good cast.
Yeah.
Right there, for sure.
I mean, I had a good time with it. It's not something I'm mad at watching. I'm not, it was ridiculous. It really is something Enzo should do on his channel, where he's just watching. Although I don't know, he'd have to be like blanking.
He'd have to cut a lot of it.
Yeah, he'd be cutting a lot, but a lot of overlays to cover up all the TNA in this film, because there was a lot. I had a good time. I had a good time with it.
There's a lot of max nudity in this film.
Say again.
There's a lot of nudity in this film.
Yeah. Oh yeah, a lot. What, did you not see it?
No, he got.
I
to
told
watch
you already. I watched the fucking Australian film about bull riding.
Oh no.
I got about 5 minutes into that and realized it was the wrong film.
Oh no. Well, Lance is on the Plex Pass, so just saying.
Yeah, I will be shortly after our conference after this. So, okay, so Hellride. So Critical, did you watch it?
I did indeed. Yeah, I watched it today.
How was being a fellow Brit? How was Vinnie Jones in the film?
It's one of the worst American accents I've
Worst
ever heard
American
in my
accent.
life.
Oh, so he's actually playing an American.
Really, really bad.
They did not help him by making him be an American.
No, they should. He can't. He's like the archetypical British bloke, isn't he? You can't. Oh my word. Yeah, it was too much for him. Sadly, the film is not good.
No.
This film has some of the worst script I have.
No, it's
ever
not
heard
good.
in my
It's not
entire
good.
life.
It's a terrible script. I don't want you to get confused that I was saying that. Vinnie Jones's accent is like when Northern English Bastard tries to do like a cheesy American accent to be funny real quick. That's what he sounded like through the whole movie.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I'm pretty sure that this entire movie is fantasy fulfillment on Larry Bishop's part, because like about half the movie is just women being sexually aroused by his presence and asking for sexual favors. I'm not even kidding. There's naked ladies everywhere. There's a general sort of revenge for a thing that happened back in the 70s and two biker gangs going to war. I think everybody's having fun making it. Michael Madsen's actually good in it, I think. He's actually pretty good in it. He's got a fairly big role. He plays a guy called the Gent.
Yeah, I
it's
saw that in the trailer.
Tarantino-esque without having any of the quality that a Tarantino film has. It's like somebody doing a bad version of Tarantino.
yeah, that's what it is.
But Eric Balfour is good in it as well. I think.
No, he was, yeah.
Was standouts. David Carradine, gets a little role, but does quite a lot. I thought Dennis Hopper was pretty good in it as well, actually, to be honest. Didn't do a lot, but
Barry
he was
Bando Sandwich Worthington has said the film is on Tubi USA, no good to me, for free. So those American people watching, if you want to check it out,
there you go.
Let us know.
There was a lot of nudity in it, like a lot.
If you watch it on times 20 speed, you might have finished by the time our show comes to an end. So you can get back to this before then.
It's not a good film. It's not a good film.
Okay, guys, let's have a look at some of the reviews on IMDb, because there's 150 of them, and you can bet that Larry Bishop got his mates involved. However,
apparently it got a cinema release. I didn't realise, but it got a theatrical release in America.
I feel that the film, however, did pick up some public reviews. So So we have tries too hard and fails. What a ride, 5 out of 10. A vigorously polished turd. I like that one, 5 out of 10. This movie is so cool, 1 out of 10. Byline, or that's what the filmmakers would like you to believe. 3 out of 10. Don't waste your time. 1 out of 10. One of the worst movies ever made. 7 out of 10. This movie. Well, I found this movie great. Not spectacular, but great. Yeah, there's some good writing there. Terrible. 3 out of 10. It's not awful, but it's a pretty rough ride. That just sounds like a byline for Sex with Toxic. 7 out of 10. Tribute to biker films of the 1970s. The Wannabe Wild Angels. 2 out of 10. So, I mean, the reviews here are pretty harsh. Okay, writer-director Larry Bishop obviously has some important connections and knows the right people in Hollywood in order to produce his own film and fill up the cast with eye-catching names. Good for him. What he really needs is inspiration and talent in order to come up with an actual worthwhile scenario, rather than the overly pretentious and wannabe convoluted crap he penned here. Yeah, okay. I think that's...
Tell us
He
really feel.
and starred in it. One of those.
A good movie with the wrong leading man. Yeah, so that's an interesting one. Midlife Crisis, the movie.
Nice.
Was surrounded by hot girls who were young enough to be their daughters. Tons of violence, unnatural amounts of swearing. Throw in some nudity while you're at it. It's like watching a bad Rob Zombie movie, only way more amateurish and there's less rednecks. Fair?
I've got a movie for that person.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Lord.
Babes. I mean, greasy fun. Now, I love this one. Quite simply, a complete pile of shit. And they managed to get that in the title. The worst film I've ever seen. Like the other honest reviewers, it's just an excuse for naked birds to get their jugs out. Fucking love that.
Well,
so funny. Yeah, because listen, if we get to the bottom, what there's going to be is there's going to be 10 reviews here from Rachel, your fan again. I'm going to have to mute you. There's going to be at least 10 reviews here from Larry Bishop and co. They're all going to be like 8, 9, or 10 out of 10 above. And I guarantee you there'll be like the first 5 or 6 reviews that were written. And then suddenly all the real reviews are going to come in. And I mean, terrible, terrible film. So there's a few 7 out of 10s. Here we go. 10 out of 10. Badass. I bet that's a genuine review. How many reviews has this person done? Let's have a look, Scott Mercer, and see. You have done a total of, do you know what? He's done a few.
That's a lot.
Scott, he's rated a few reviews. No, fair play, mate. You've done a few reviews. Okay. I'm not going to call him. He's a genuine reviewer. So fair enough, mate. If you liked it.
Independent Day Resurgence, that's too high, 5.2.
Mate.
That's way too high.
That film is a fucking stupid turd of a movie. So, I mean, listen, man, you're a genuine reviewer. You've just got no taste. Messy, mediocre, and racy. Well, 1 out of 3 ain't bad. Yeah, it's pretty... But it's funny, look, a fun ride and a very cool trailer. Why are you saying the trailer's really cool? Beers, bikes, and booty. That's a good summary for the movie, I think. Vinnie Jones is the coolest guy on the planet, and he rocks as Billy Wings. There you go.
No, that's a flat-out lie. I'm sorry. That's a made-up review.
Okay, now, I don't think this guy's going to have 190. It was exploding. It was taking over all the cinemas in the UK. It bought out something like 30-40% of the screens. They were knocking out films left and right. There'd been some okay films. You know, the Delta Force was you know, it was an absolute schlock, but it was a fun movie. Invasion USA was absolute schlock, but it was a fun movie. And they'd done some other sort of very below average movies like King Solomon's Mines and things like this. But I thought, well, Superman, you know, if Chris Reeve's doing it, it's got to be a good script, surely. And I thought the concept of Superman's going to get rid of nuclear weapons was kind of cool. That was sort of very in with the times. And then it cut to the like in the opening. I think there's a disaster in space or something like that. And the very first shot is that you see of Superman is him flying through the space to come to the rescue, and that shot had not been. It was a plate shot from a previous Superman movie, and they haven't even tried to get rid of the lines round the it's for this sequence round the image of him flying. So the very first image you saw of him had this horrible line around it on the green screen or the blue screen or whatever they had back then. And I remember leaning to my then partner and going, fuck, this looks awful. I have a feeling this is going to be shit. And unfortunately, that was the case. There was another bit where Nuclear Man flies up 3 floors or 4 floors through a building. It's kind of a cool sequence. Apart from the fact that you can see the fucking cords on his shoulders that are pulling him up through the set, which kind of ruined it for me. You know, call me pedantic, but I don't like to see the harness when someone's supposed to be flying without strings. It's more forgivable in Thunderbirds. It's less forgivable in this. Yeah, not a good film. Don't know what happened to the guy who played Nuclear Man.
Mark Pillow. What a great name.
Mark Pillow? Yeah, I mean, he looks like could have, and let me not go there. Yeah. So, did this have any redeeming features? Yeah, as a movie, Rachel.
I mean, it's not the worst ever. It's a fun movie. It's definitely one of the weaker ones for sure, but you can still enjoy it and it's still Christopher Reeve, and you can't fault him as Superman, so it's got that going for it. But it doesn't have much else going for it, unfortunately.
Yeah, Mariel Hemingway kind of takes over. I can't even remember if she's actually a new Lois Lane or if she's just a different character. I can't remember.
Different character.
A new company takes over the Daily Planet.
That was it.
She's the
right.
Daughter of the guy.
She's a Warfield.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, I think Gene Hackman probably got a pretty good paycheck for this. Yeah. Toxic. Anything positives to say about this?
I have fond memories of it. I was, it came on cable when I was 10 years old. I like the idea of Lenny Luthor. I like the idea that, John Cryer grew up to actually play Lex Luthor on the TV show. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I always liked that he had another superpowered after part 3 where there was really nothing for Superman to fight except himself. I like that they had another, you got to understand, in the 80s, if you're a comic book kid, there was really nothing out there for you. I mean, if you had basically the Superman movies, and we were still a couple years away from Batman. So really there was nothing. So if you were a comic book kid like me, this is what you watched. And I remember having fond memories of it. I thought, I liked, Lenny calling him Super Dude and things like that. I like the idea that Superman would take all of the, and I remember those times we were so scared of getting wiped out in nuclear holocaust. I like the idea that Superman would just say, you know what? I'm just going to grab all the nukes and throw it into the sun. I like that. Oh God, man. Wow. She was banging back then. But yeah, I have fond memories of this film. I've not watched it since I was a kid, certainly, but I don't remember, right around this time they had a TV show called Superboy. I used to watch that as well. And it was kind of similar to, this was kind of like an episode of Superboy. He'd fight, a one-off of the week character and stuff like that. So I used to watch that at the time. And I enjoyed it, when I was a kid, a less cynical young Toxic back then, kind of thought this was good. So I have fond memories of it.
Right. Okay. Interesting. Critical, do you have anything to comment?
Yeah, I mean, it's fun in a kind of stupid kind of comic book farcical way. But like the character, was it Gene Hackman's nephew? I think it was so unnecessary and annoying and kind of maybe put in there to appeal to, I don't know, maybe the younger
Come on,
generation. It's
super
just-
dude.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. But,
Oh,
there's
God.
Jim Broadbent in it, which I had no idea at the time. I had no idea who he was when I was a kid, but watched it again kind of recently, and I was like, "Oh crap, that's Jim Broadbent, like an actual actor and stuff." So yeah. But it's again, it's not a good film, but you can have fun watching it.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen it even since I saw it at the cinema. I never rented it. The cinema experience was traumatic enough. Now, it might be that I watch it now and go, well, it's not that bad because of some of the shit that I've seen since then. But yeah, I can't recommend it to people. If you're going to start somewhere, just do a double bill of the original Superman and Superman 2. That is a great night out right there. Can't recommend those more highly enough. Incidentally, of course, I have the soundtrack on vinyl. It's a double vinyl soundtrack as well. So fantastic stuff. Yeah, okay. So let's move on. Does anyone have anything else they want to recommend this week before we
Did
wrap
anybody
up?
else watch the other Homework movie?
No, I watched something better instead.
So you
I
didn't
couldn't
watch
find
Mad Dog Time?
Yeah, I couldn't find it.
Yeah, it was hard to find.
Yeah,
I
I
did
couldn't
find it. It's
couldn't
pretty
find it either. You did see it though, Al.
I've watched
So
it.
let's-
Yes, it's a
Let's
fascinating
talk about
film.
it briefly because it was on the homework assignment, and well done. You get an A+ on both assignments and the only one to get A+ because you completed watching both films.
Teacher's pet.
Yeah, thank you for that really crispy green apple that you placed on my desk. Yeah, this is another film of, isn't it the same dude? Is it the same
Yes,
director?
Larry Bishop. Yeah, has himself
This
a
is
role in
Larry
the film,
Bishop.
and he directed it.
This is Larry Bishop doing his thing where somehow, because of all these young ladies that have hung around with him, somehow he's got something on all these big film stars and they just have to be in his movie. I don't know what that could be, but
Yeah, it's got a
got Jeff
stacked
Goldblum in
cast. It
this.
really has.
You've got Ellen Barkin. I mean, these are fucking, even in 1996, these are A-list people.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got two A-listers right there. Burt Reynolds, I'd still
Yeah.
say he was kind of a B movie guy by then, but that's still Burt Reynolds. Richard Dreyfuss was A-list in 96. Gabriel Byrne, okay, you put him sort of more as a well-known supporting actor, although I think the Coen Brothers movie, the Irish one, had been out by then.
Mm-hmm.
I think that came out around 92. Miller's Crossing. I think Miller's Crossing is 92. I think. So yeah, I mean, he was pretty big. Diane Lane.
Yeah.
Miller's
Sorry,
Crossing
let me
was
say that again. Diane Lane. Yeah. Carl McLachlan, Gregory Hines, the late great Gregory Hines.
Mm-hmm.
These are big names. This is a huge cast, man.
Yep. And nobody's
And
ever
there
heard
he
of
is,
it.
Larry
And there he is.
Bishop, looking, really insane in this shot.
Thankfully, he
With
does not have a
Angie
lot of
Everhart.
lines in this film. Not like
Right.
Hellride.
Now, this film was before Hellride, because Hellride's
Oh, yeah, this is like
2008.
90s, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, he clearly got somewhere. I just wonder how this film got set up. Because this is an
Here's what
incredible
happened.
cast.
Here's
This
what
is-
happened, Lance. They
Okay.
went on
Okay.
they went on a vacation, him and some of the producers and the Weinsteins, and he had a camcorder. I'm just gonna get the good times, and they were like, "Hey, put that thing away, Larry," and he left it on when they were doing shenanigans. And then later he was like, "All right, I got this tape on you guys. I'm gonna need a favor or two. I need a couple of films just to get me started, and then I'll be off on my own." So yes, so that was
Trump Daddy appears to agree with you on that narrative. Please note that the Outcast Creative does not endorse this narrative. Okay, so yeah, interesting. I mean, beggars belief.
I mean, I'm
really.
not saying he blackmailed all these high listers being his shit films, but I am saying it's very plausible that Larry Bishop, he may know where the Epstein files are.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking Richard Pryor's in this
Yeah.
as well. So
Very,
I
very,
mean, he
very
clearly had a
briefly.
big drug stash. So I mean, critic out. You know, does this hold up? What are the good things in this movie? Apart, you've got a great cast. Is there some good moments?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few cool moments here and there. That scene, Gabriel
Paul Anka.
doing My Way. That's Paul Anka, by the way, who's a really famous singer from the 50s and 60s.
Yeah, and there's definitely a big file on him somewhere. So I'm starting to think the toxic narrative is holding weight.
But yeah, it's a really weird film. It's kind of like the dialogue and the acting and the script is all really stilted and weird, like it's ultra self-aware. The general plot is that Richard Dreyfuss plays the mob boss in a entirely fictional planet in a fictional universe somewhere, and he's been in a mental hospital. And while he's been away, there's been shenanigans going on with his underlings, lots of power grabs and
I wonder if
Jeff
that's based on a true story.
sleeping with the dames and stuff like that. And then Richard Dreyfuss comes back and people start dying as things start to get sorted out. But it was about halfway through the film, because there've been a couple of weird bits of dialogue that were really oddly philosophical. And I was like, wow, that's a bit out for a gangster film. And then you find out that the entire thing, or I realize the entire thing, I need to watch it again sometime, it's a religious allegory. I'm not even kidding. The film title, Mad Dog Time, is Mad God Time. Richard Dreyfuss is God.
Right.
I'm not even kidding. He's a character called Vic, but he is God. So when he first comes into the film, he's wearing like a white gown and everything's all very messianic. And then throughout the film, he's the only one wearing white, whereas everybody else is wearing like normal gangster stuff. So, they're not doing like this James Bond thing. He's the one that stands out. And you start to work out who the other characters are. You've got Jeff Goldblum is playing a guy called Mickey. Well, he's the angel, Michael. And then you've got a character that's literally called Grace, God's Grace, which the angel Michael is sleeping with. And then the other one is called Rita. Well, Rita is Latin, or it's a language, I think it's Latin for right. So she's justice. And you start to work out who all these characters are. And Larry Bishop is playing Lucifer, a character called Nick Falco. Old Nick, Lucifer. And when you start to realize this, you're like, wow, this film might not be the best film I've ever seen, but God, there's something, if you excuse the pun, to this film. And I kind of need to watch it again properly to see exactly what it's doing. It's bizarre. It's a really weird film that on the surface is kind of crap and it just doesn't seem to be doing much. But when you realize what the film's actually about, you get a new impression and a new appreciation for it. And yeah, I kind of want to go back and watch it again. It's mad. It is a mad God time. It's crazy. Yeah, really weird. Okay. Really weird film. But it's like a gangster facade over this kind of religious allegory. It's crazy. I'm really glad you found it and I got to watch it. I really am.
Yeah, I will attempt to watch it. I haven't. I wasn't able to find it, so I'm glad you were able to
I couldn't find it under the name Trigger Happy. I had to look under Mad Dog Time.
Right. Okay, that's probably why I didn't find it. Very good. Well, we will do that. I did watch another movie. Well, not really a movie. I watched a documentary, which of course we do cover. It's on Netflix. I put it on when I went to sleep, and I was about half an hour in, and I was thinking, "Oh, fuck me, this is pretty heavy." And then I fell asleep, and it was over. And I had an important appointment this morning. And I was really, the reason I put it on was I had massive anxiety. I was having nightmares. I was having panic attacks. It was awful, awful night. Woke up screaming about 4 times, like within 20 minutes of trying to go to sleep. I was like, fuck this, I need to put something on. So having texted Toxic and said, dude, what's what's out? What can I watch? And he said, oh, I've got the perfect thing for you, Lance. There's this great documentary about 2 people trying to survive invasive cancer. And I was like, oh, yeah, that sounds like the perfect thing to go to sleep to. Thanks, Tox. So, yeah, so it's true. Joking aside, this is a documentary on Netflix. I'm just trying to get the name of it because I can't. The Cancer Conflict. And, I've lost a lot of friends to cancer in the last 10 years. I lost one, Carol Coles, 3 days ago. And Carol and I don't know if you guys remember. Do you guys remember the old Yahoo chat rooms in the early 2000s? Before we all had phones? You'd be on your PC and you got the Yahoo chat rooms. And there were different themed chat rooms. And I was in an interracial dating chat room. And Carol Coles' handle was Nubian Queen. Never forget. And she messaged me and we ended up chatting and we got on like a house on fire. And I was like, where are you? And she was like, oh, I'm in Pennsylvania or somewhere. And I was like, oh, fuck, well, we're not going to really be able to meet, are we? But we stayed in touch. Lost touch, I think, around 2009. And then I found an old diary and it had like all these lists of numbers and emails in it, one of which was hers. And I dropped her an email and that didn't work. But then I looked her up on Facebook. I found her. And in 2017, I added her. And I just read back the whole conversation we had from 2017. And she started fighting cancer at the beginning of this year. It was pretty bad, but she was going for it with the full chemo and everything. And it seemed to be going pretty well. And then her health just suddenly took a turn and boom, she was gone. And she passed on the 29th of June. She was going to come over to the UK. She was going to come raving with me. Yeah, it fucking sucked. Anyway, so, and this, of course, the big thing with cancer is, my mum went through it. My mum decided not to go for chemo. And, do you do chemo, which is pretty invasive, pretty horrible. Of course, it's a lot more sophisticated than it used to be, but I mean, it's still awful. Or do you go the holistic route? The holistic route. Now, this documentary was actually made in 2021, but I'd never heard of it before. And it's basically, there's an Asian lady who's approaching her 50th birthday. And she is, partly because of her religion, she's adamant that she's not going to pursue chemo. She's not even going to have radiotherapy scans. So she's not even going to have proper scans that can show the cancer in her breast, in one of her breasts, where is it, kind of thing. And then you've got this lovely guy, Grant, who is married, is in a very long-term relationship, quite a spiritual guy, who you would expect to probably go the holistic route, because he got married in like a sort of Buddhist temple in Thailand, and him and his wife are kind of, very trendy bohemian couples. He was like a cyclist and very much about health and this kind of thing. And, but he's going the scientific route, and it follows them over a period of, I think, about 2 years, and each of them doing it. And he tries absolutely everything. Grant tries absolutely everything, including going to Germany for specialist treatments, this kind of stuff. And it just keeps defeating him. This is Grant here in this photograph. And then the other lady, whose name I forget, this is her. She does the holistic thing. And it seems like from the scans that she's able to do, which are not radioactive scans, it seems like she's the one who beats it. It seems like she gets the good news, and you're 10 minutes away from the end of the movie and you find that Grant has passed, and then we she goes and has her meeting, and the doctor, the sort of hippie doctor, the holistic doctor, sorry, the hippie is a bit that's not very polite, forgive me, but the holistic doctor says, oh yeah, it's very positive and it looks good for you. And so she does a talk about how she defeated her cancer. The film kind of ends with that. And then we cut to the closing credits, and it's like this coffin's being carried through this room, and I'm like, what the fuck's happening here now? And it's her, and you know, suddenly it puts up in titles, and then the cancer came back, and she died 18 months later, and I was like, oh fuck. So great film to go to sleep to, but I think it's a really valuable documentary because it was a very no bullshit, no bias. These are the two approaches. These are the two outcomes. The outcomes for both individuals were not good. You know, but these were the choices before them, and this is what they decided to do. And I think it was, if you've got a relative who's facing those choices, this documentary, as hard as it will be to watch, is a valuable contribution to the argument and to the narrative of dealing with cancer. And it was very difficult for me to watch this, really difficult, because my friend, I only found out my friend passed away 3 days ago. She passed on the 29th of June, but it's only just gone public on Facebook. I did wonder why I hadn't heard from her. So, yeah, and I'm sure everyone on the panel's probably lost someone to the big C, sadly. So, yeah, Rachel, any comments, anything you want to say?
Oh, I haven't seen it, but just hearing you talk about it, I'm glad that this exists so it can show people the reality. Because, yeah, everyone has lost someone to cancer. I didn't lose my aunt, but she had breast cancer. I've lost people to cancer. And you need to see something like this when you're going into it. Sadly, it's a reality that most of us are going to have to face. Either we're going to get it or we're going to lose someone to it. And that's just the horrible reality of our existence now. So I'm really glad that this documentary is out there and readily available.
I think the thing that's really sad to digest about it is that the Asian lady, who was a very sweet woman, and I really felt for her, you know, she was one of the few people in her family. She had a big family of many sisters, 7 brothers. It was partly a cultural thing that her 7 brothers were being interviewed on camera, that I can't really emotionally be here for her. And I was thinking, fuck, man, like, you know, okay, I get that, you know, maybe you're slightly emotionally aloof in your culture about offering emotional support, but, you know, this is your sister and she's fucking dying. You're going on camera and saying, yeah, but I can't actually emotionally be there for her, and you're just not justifying it. That was pretty embarrassing to watch. I thought they did not show themselves well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And you know, boom, then she's fucking dead. I mean, well, so what was the support? You carrying her coffin? I mean, I don't know. That was a bit fucking strange. But
Yeah.
but the bottom line is that if she had got the treatment and got the proper test, she'd be alive today, because the lump didn't metastasize in her breasts until 18 months later, but it was there. And because she didn't have it removed, it metastasized, it killed her. But if she'd had it removed, she'd be here now. I've had 5 or 6 friends that have gone through that, and they're all still here because they've had things removed, you know, that could have turned into, you know, the big C and taken them out. I get why people don't do chemo. My mother chose not to do it, so that's a perfectly understandable thing, Adrian. But yeah, Tox, anything you want to say about this one?
I've not seen it. I don't, you know, I have a big thing with cancer. My dad passed away of cancer. My mom had it a couple times and it complications. But I mean, I think, you know, it's horrible, but at the same time, I think it's necessary. I think it's something that God put on earth just to kind of keep us down a little bit and wean us out. I think when my time comes, when I get it, I'll probably just drift on out, you know. And I know it's coming. It's pretty big in my family, pretty prevalent, and I'll just opt out as far as that goes. There's no point in prolonging it or doing stuff to treat it or anything like that. I think it's just, yeah, we're all going to go. Time is finite. So I don't have a big issue with it. I might take a look at it if I get some time between all the stuff I'm watching. I'll see if I can take a look, but I don't really have much feelings about it one way or the other.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not an easy watch, and if it's, I would definitely say to someone, if you feel it's gonna stir up negative energy for you, there's no reason for you to watch it. However, I do think if you've got a relative who might be sort of facing these choices, and they're debating one over the other, especially if it's a woman facing breast cancer, I really think this is the documentary that will make you make the right decision in that regard. And I mean, one of the last things she's saying on camera is, oh yeah, I definitely made the right decision for me. And I was thinking, oh, good on you, you survived, well done, hooray for drinking shitty drinks that taste absolutely awful, but at least you survived. And then, like, boom, she was gone. But I think also the thing that makes it such a hard watch is the love of the other couple, Grant and his wife. Because you don't just see, he's so determined to beat it, and he's so determined to try everything, and he doesn't want to put his wife through this, and that's very, very evident. And I think any of us in that situation would probably be the same. And she's trying to be so brave, and then there are other times on camera where she just can't be. Oh man, it's fucking heartbreaking. I mean, my heart really went out to them, and you're watching it hoping for a different outcome, but you kind of know where it's going. But yeah, it's a very worthy piece. Not everyone's going to watch it. Critical, cancer, big thing in spiders.
No, strange enough, I don't really get tumors in that way, but I have enough of a history in in my family of cancer, and people who've died from cancer, that I have to be checked every 3 years. I have to have checks to see if I'm going to be developing cancerous tumors and stuff. And it's the great leveler, isn't it? It doesn't care whether you're rich or old, rich or poor, young or old. It can get nearly anybody. Your odds of surviving it are probably improved if you're rich, but nearly, as Rachel says, everybody has lost something to cancer. Fuck cancer. And it's odd. I always think about, when it comes to cancer, I always think of the Deadpool movie, where Ryan Reynolds says that cancer is an absolute shit show, and under no circumstances am I taking you to that show, because it's not just the person who's suffering from the cancer, it's how it affects the people around you as well. And as I say, I've seen members of my family dealing with losing people to cancer, and yeah, I've got an increased chance of getting cancer. I think my chances is increased by like 60%.
Is it increased from 30 to 60% because you are surrounded by 20 spiders in your room?
No, it's not. It's not the spiders and the snakes I'm surrounded by. No, it's mostly hereditary, from what I know.
Right.
And yeah, it's at the end of the day, you can only deal with that when it happens. You can try and be prepared and stuff like that, but how you feel, right, or what you think when somebody turns around and gives you that news, and how you break it to people, man, that's just something that you can't really prepare for, so I so much I know, even outside my family, loads of people that have died of cancer. It is a horrible thing. As much as Toxic says it could well be a means of population control, or whatever way you look at it, a thinning of the numbers kind of thing. It's not nice for anybody. There is nothing good about cancer apart from maybe
you would have thought, with all the things that have gone into cancer research and stuff, you would have thought they would have found a cure for it by now. And I have to say, without wanting to go too far down the Uncle Tony's big conspiratorium route, that it does surprise me that there hasn't. And you have to. There's a lot of cancer charities, cancer research being one of the big ones over here. And I don't feel that the strides that have been made are as big as they should have been, considering the amount of money that has gone into these charities to explore for cancer resurgery. And that then
a lot of these charities have CEOs and stuff like that.
Yeah, how much of that money is actually going where it's intended?
Survival rates
like the big one over here. The big
Say
one
that
over
again,
here
Ray.
for breast cancer. The big charity over here for breast cancer research. None of that money, we found out a decade or so ago, none of that money actually goes to cancer research. It just
Oh
goes
my
to
God.
running the organization. Very
Right.
little, if any, actually goes to cancer research.
Mm.
And if you can find an alternative to that very large organization to help people, do so. Don't support them because you're just paying their CEO, who makes like $4 or $5 million a year off of cancer donations, and that is scummy to me.
I don't think
when you have people.
I don't think that there's a I don't think it's possible to cure it. I don't think it's a curable disease because I mean, I get it. Not everybody's religious. I am actually, ironically, and I don't think I definitely think it's being the donations and all that, charities and all that stuff is. I think that it is. I think they should move that more towards like I think the things they do is like Make-A-Wish for the kiddos that get cancer and giving them something really really special to go do. I think that's very important. I think that is done very well. But yeah, all this other stuff to like cure it, you might as well just say, let's cure the sun. God is not going to allow cancer to be cured. It's there for a reason. I mean, it's not something that, in 200 years, people are still going to be dying of cancer. So, I mean, it's just, there's nothing that's ever going to stop it. I mean, you might get lucky and abate it, but I mean, all the people in my family, including my ex-wife, who've had it, who've gotten treatments and surgeries, and it's always come back. It always wins sooner or later. So I mean, there's just, I mean, if you want to prolong your life and in that way, hey, more power to you. You might be able to have a couple more great years. Me, when it's my time, I was ready like 10 years ago. So when my time comes,
if you were ready to go 10 years ago and you would have missed out on the absolute pleasure of meeting me and coming on here.
Very true, Lance. You're so right. You know what? I've changed my mind. If I do get the big seat, I'm gonna take the treatment just so I can stick around you a little longer.
That's true, and we wouldn't have shared that prison cell for 6 months or got through so many marigold washing up gloves. So,
I don't know what that means.
Got to think about those good times, buddy.
So much soap to pick up.
Just trying to humor. We dived into a very deep topic there, but I did go back and forth about whether I wanted to get into that. But I thought, listen, this documentary is definitely worthy of our attention. We do talk about documentaries quite a lot on here. I just picking up on one thing Tok said before we begin to wrap up. I do like, you see those videos of kind of, I don't know who's behind them some of the time, but sometimes it's the 501st, the Superman, Star Wars reenactment guys. Sometimes it's those guys, because I know they do this in the UK. They also have guys who dress up as various key superheroes, and part of their big job is, kids that are dying of cancer or whatever who want to meet Superman or Batman. They'll send someone in a fucking kick-ass Batman costume, sometimes with a Batmobile, to this kid's house. Oh man, I mean, that guy, I think there's a guy that does it in America, there's another guy that does it over here. My friend Gary from the 501st, he does it over here. He's one of the founders of the 501st. I mean, those guys that work, I just, you see the kids' faces light up. There's a lot of videos and stuff you can see. That stuff is great. I'd love to see a documentary about those guys and those moments, and that'd be another tough documentary. But I think it would be it'd be tough, but it would be a good one. It'd be interesting to talk to the guys who do it and how it impacts them, because that's not fucking easy. That's not easy to go and bond with a little kid for a couple of hours, knowing you're probably never going to see him again. But I guess the reward is that you're giving that kid two of the best hours of his life, maybe, to sort of, be Batman for him, or Superman or Spider-Man or whoever
as well.
Yeah,
Johnny Depp's quite known for doing that kind of thing off his own back, kind of thing, and sometimes not always.
There's a few people who do that sort of thing and don't talk about it. It's a shame that Surinder Paul's Twitter account, who is the lady who passed away in that documentary, as is often the case when people are in high profile sort of things like this, you know, and then they passed away. Her Twitter account has been hacked, and it's got all this advertising crap. Look on the
Oh, man,
timeline.
that's
Of
just
Really
course.
not-
fucking repulsive,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Of
fucking
course.
sucks. Anyway, rest in peace, and to both of those people who took part in that. So, moving on. I don't
To
have anything
something
else to
lighter.
recommend. Yeah,
I do.
I have watched some episodes. I have watched some episodes of Family Guy. They were pretty good. The latest eps of that have been quite fun. There's been some pretty good parodies on there. But Rach, you've got something fun, so give it to me.
Yes, I've got a fun movie, a ridiculous movie, a
Excellent.
movie dripping with nudity and foul language and action.
We've
Hang on,
already
let me
talked
just get
about
the keyboard ready.
Hellride. Okay, what is it?
Open up a document here,
I-
you know.
What's it called?
I'm recommending Drive Angry, which is like you take that horrible movie that you made us watch and you make it good. you put a little bit more money behind it and you get higher quality actors and you make a pretty good schlocky movie that is, you know, it's an homage to the
it's a
exploitation
Grindhouse.
movies. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
I remember seeing this. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
I
yeah, I've
love
seen
it
this.
so much.
Yeah, I've seen this.
Nicolas Cage it was in his era of I will do anything for money, which he hasn't quite left that
I was
era
gonna
yet.
say, isn't that still his era now? But yeah.
He's done a few things that are better quality at least, but he still kind of will do anything for $1 million. But he plays Milton, who has escaped from hell because his daughter was murdered by a Satanist cult. And he is trying to track down the leader of the cult and rescue his granddaughter from these people. But he's not the star of this movie. He's the headliner, but there's no way that anyone watching it can say that he is the star of this movie. The star of this movie is William Fichtner.
Yeah, William Fichtner is a fucking awesome actor.
Oh my God. From the second he comes on screen, you cannot take your eyes off of him. Every time he's there, he completely steals this movie. Just watch his scenes and you will have the best time. Just watch his scenes.
He's Satan's accountant, I believe, in the film.
He is the accountant.
Yeah.
And
he is one of my
Just the-
favorite. This guy is one of my favorite character actors of all time.
mine too.
He was a great role in that film Go. But anyway, yeah, carry on.
He's also one of my favorite actors. Just he's at the top of the list for me. I've loved him ever since I was a little kid, which is ridiculous to say. I forgot that he's 68 years old now.
Yeah.
I still imagine him being 50. I still imagine him being 40 to 50 years old. And no, I had to have a little reality check that he is 68 now. But he comes into this movie and he commands every scene. He makes this worth watching because without him, without this character, and without his performance, it would probably fall pretty flat. It would be just another action movie that Nicolas Cage did for money. His back and forth with Milton and the accountant are the best parts of this movie. Billy Burke is ridiculously over the top and it's fun. So if you wanted more rednecks in the bad movie that I had to watch, this is the movie for you because it is Satanist rednecks all the way through the movie. Like, just everybody is either kind of scummy, a little bit scummy, or you're just a Satanist murdering redneck.
I forgot to ask
And
everyone what your
Lord.
ratings were for Hellride. So we'll do ratings for Hellride out of 10 and Drive Angry if you've seen it at the same time. So let's do it. So Rachel, your rating first for Hellride out of 10.
For Hellride, I would give it a 4. I'd give it a 4. They made a movie. That's all I can say. You can have some fun with it. It's ridiculously bad, but it's a movie. I'll give it a 4.
Okay. All right, fair enough. And Drive Angry, what would you give?
I'd give it a 7. Just the performances sell this movie. If you love the people that are in it, you will love this movie. You have to get past the nudity and some other things, but even that can make it fun to watch because of how ridiculous it is. It's so over the top. So yeah, that's my rating for this one.
All right. So Tox, what was your rating for Hellride?
I mean, I'll give it a marginal 4 just because of some great TNA in it, and it was, not offensive to me, to my senses. It's just like something to have on while I was folding clothes and working on the computer. So, I mean, nothing, it wasn't like I was like a huge slog to get through where I had to really turn my brain on or anything. Just gunfire and TNA. So I'll give that a 4 just for that. I mean, it's a terrible movie, but but objectively, but just maybe also interesting just because of the amount of star power they were able to do. I do like this Drive Angry. It was one of the first, we call them Haji DVDs that I bought from the Haji shop when I was in Iraq. And played on my
yeah, mate. There's one of them in Uganda.
Yeah. So this is one of the first ones that I bought,
usually
and
usually pretty good quality.
Yeah, well, it's like anything else. When you go over there, everything is negotiable. So I just reminded the guy, Samir, that was running it. I said, "Listen, I don't want anything that's handheld recorded in the theater. I want a quality DVD." And because this had just come out too, so I mean, it's obviously a bootleg. But I was like, I need it. If it's not quality, I'm gonna be angry, and I carry a gun, so make sure don't rob me. It was all of $2. So, and I took it back and I watched it. I thought it was very interesting. I was already semi in love at the time. God help me with, the soon to be Mrs.
Third.
Yeah.
Wait.
Mrs. X, Johnny Depp. I had a huge crush on her from, I just seen her the previous year in that Karate Kid remake film, The Never Back Down. And I thought, believe it or not, I thought Nick Cage was kind of subdued in this film. I mean, it's an over the top premise, but he's not really chewing the scenery or being like crazy over the top. I mean, it's just, and it's a cool supernatural. Billy Burke is great in it. And I agree, 100%. William Fichtner is, he's amazing in it. Anytime I see a TikTok or YouTube reel that has some of the highlights from this film, it's always William Fichtner, and it's always brilliant. I never so yeah, I dig it. I think it's a good movie. I mean, listen, whatever else she may be, Amber Heard, especially this, is like peak hotness. Like this is like the pinnacle of how hot she was.
This might be the film that roped him in.
Yeah, this is
It probably is.
more than likely it was the film they did together about a year later. But yeah, it's good. It's good fun. I like it for what it is, and I've never watched it since then too. I think I loaned the DVD to one of my guys I worked with over there, and I never saw it again. And I wasn't chasing it down, going, "Where's my Drive Angry DVD?" So
It's on Plex.
Yeah. Have you not got your Plex pass yet, Toxic?
I mean, I've not watched it on that, but maybe I will tonight when I'm on duty. I would give it a 7 out of 10. I liked it.
Okay. Fantabulous. Good stuff. Critical, have you seen it?
I've been spending the entire time that Rachel and Tox have been talking, trying to work out whether I've seen this damn movie or not. I don't know. I can't remember. I'm looking at screenshots and little bits of it, and I'm like, I'm sure I've seen this, but I can't remember a damn thing about it. So I can't give a rating, unfortunately. Hellriders, 4. There's stuff for the lads. Every single female in it exists to be sexual. Terrible dialogue, but it's watchable. It is
Okay.
watchable.
So what's the rating?
4 out of 10 for Hellriders.
Okay.
Or Hellrider.
So before we wrap up, I did try to get Adrian Sherlock on because he has actually seen the new Superman movie, but for some reason the connection didn't work. But love the new Superman movie. I had no idea I was so hungry for a movie with real heart from Hollywood. Ooh, bit of an overstatement. But it was a revelation to get it. Best Superman film ever for me. Wow, high praise indeed. Clearly he liked the super pooch. We had to talk about Nick Cage on a Superman stream. We did. In fact, when someone mentioned Brainiac earlier, as soon as that was mentioned, I just saw Nick Cage in that Superman test costume.
Yeah.
That they
And obviously
That was accidental. I didn't intend to bring up Nicolas Cage on the Superman stream. I've just ruined my YouTube algorithm watching clips from this movie, and I said, well, fine, I'll watch it, and I loved it this time around. So
yeah, I've
I've
got
seen a
to.
Well, there we
documentary about the Superman
remember if
film
I-
that Nick Cage was in.
you know,
It's very interesting.
I definitely saw this, but I just don't really remember it.
Yeah, I think I'm the same.
And it's not during the time of my big blank out, which is more kind of 2005 down to kind of 93 or something. So yeah, but I feel like I will watch it. Okay, guys, we're going to wrap it up there because I need to get to bed. It is late here. It just remains for me to do one thing, which is to advertise my show. Because I have promised my producer I will mention this show every time I get, even though some of the people watching may be American and other of the people watching may not be anywhere near London. However, if you are going to be in London in October, or you can get there, because of course Toxic is organising a trip from the USA, especially to come and see Seven Magnificent Egos, the play about the making of the 1960 classic Western, The Magnificent Seven. It is a hyper-satirical telling of the tale. It's going to be a lot of fun. All 7 actors play not only the Magnificent Seven, but also all the Mexican extras, the Mexican censor, the producers, the director, Eli Wallach, Anthony Quinn also turn up in the film. And then we have one woman playing Rosenda Monteros and various other roles. So it's actually a cast of 8 altogether. But who are the 7 with the biggest egos? Well, you'll have to find out by coming to watch it. 6 shows only at the old Rose and Crown Theatre in Walthamstow, 15th to the 19th of October, with 2 matinees in there. Booking now. So if you haven't booked a ticket already, why not? Do please come along. And you can support me as well by booking a ticket for the show, but then contacting the theatre and saying, I've booked a ticket to support Lance, but this ticket will actually be available. So that's also another thing that you can do, because we're trying to sell out the theatre before the show opens in October, which will get us lots of publicity on the London theatre scene. So if you're able to do that and support me in that way, I'll be eternally grateful to you for at least 11 weeks. All right, fantastic. Thank you very much to the lineup today for the Nielsen ratings. We should be back next Tuesday at 10 o'clock at the usual time. I was almost late for today. Sometimes that can happen. Fortunately, I've got my Luke 9000 app on my phone, so I filter the information through to you lot that way, because I do not have any social media on my phone. But I should be on time next week as well. It was a bit of a tight one. Thanks to everyone in the chat. We've had a couple of new people. We seem to have acquired a couple of new regulars. So some of them with interesting opinions. Always good to see Nads popping in. I think she's probably doing a stream a bit later. There's been a few of the regulars here. We've had Darth Plato. We've had Adrian Sherlock. Drew Gordon has been here. And always interesting to hear different people's views. Wormy Spoons is here as well. We did touch on a couple of heavy topics. Amadeus Dread, great to see you, of course, as well. And then Lady Silver Server type person, female Silver Super. There we go, Usurper. That's who I meant. Thank you for coming back, because I saw you were in chat the other week. Everyone's entitled to their opinion in the chat. Just keep it polite and don't please put politics or religion in there, because those comments will be deleted. Okay, so we'll be back on Tuesday. However, before that, one important announcement. I do have an industry interview tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Rachel, as you are an artist, are you available to co-host?
I am. I'm available.
Fantabulous, because I've got a graphic artist coming in, Ben Gardner. Ben Gardner's an actor friend of mine. I do apologize. Ben Bernard Smith is the man coming in fact. And he has done a graphic novel, which is kind of, it's about the world, but if it was run by birds. So he's coming in to talk about The Angry Birds, which is his new graphic novel. I've seen some strips of it. It looks like a lot of fun. And Rachel, as you're both into doing artwork and also cats, who of course are the mortal enemies of birds, I think this will be right up your street. So tune in tomorrow at 8 o'clock to talk to the artist of The Angry Birds. Should be an interesting one. Fantastic. Okay. I will hang about afterwards because Toxic and I need to have our Plex conference, which we still haven't managed to do yet. So, has anybody got anything they want to plug real quick? Anyone? Beulah?
No.
Anyone? No?
Nope.
Anyone?
Nope.
Okay, all right.
Nope.
Well, that's it then.